listening to the official HearMii podcast.
Welcome to HearMii episode 55. I'm TheAssailant, and I'm joined with Marley Silverbrand.
Hello.
And Piffman too.
Hello.
He's on an iPhone, by the way.
Yeah.
And we're also joined by Team Meat.
Hi.
Hello.
The lovely Team Meat.
The lovely
Creators of
team.
the highly anticipating Super Meat Boy.
Highly anticipated.
So
Yeah.
on the call we have Edmund, McMillen, and Tommy.
Yes.
So we're gonna be grilling some meat just a little bit
Uh-oh.
barbecue. So we're gonna.
It would have been-
Gonna do
it would
this
have been-
like a round table. Just ask questions and.
Yeah, we'll just do it around table.
Tough questions like, where is the beef?
Yeah. I certainly hope they're not those questions.
I need to really write down a bunch of really horrible meat puns that I could throw out when things are getting dull.
We could just use from our recent contest.
Oh yeah, avocado don't.
Oh my God. That's
So, I guess we might as well start with asking about what that was.
It's nothing.
It's
It's better to forget.
yeah, it's like 9/11. It's best not to talk about it. It's best to ignore that it happened.
It's like the end of Remember Me, then?
What?
I didn't see that.
It's like the end of Remember Me? 9/11? Spoilers?
Oh, see, I don't know how that movie ended.
What the hell is Remember Me?
Did they get out?
Robert Pattinson nonsense?
What?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
What the
I
hell?
thought he was just a sparkling vampire that just couldn't get a girl.
No, he's also like a fake New York kid, and in the end, it turns out it's 9/11. It's like the most offensive twist I've seen in a movie.
Wait, what? This movie sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
The movie is... Yeah, it just pulls out and you see the count there, and it's like, dun dun dun, 9/11, Rob Pattinson's dead.
What?
Wow.
Cool.
Well,
So Kristen Stewart's over in a corner crying, her eyes out.
Yeah, and then his dad is Pierce Brosnan, and he's like, I'd stop being James Bond for this.
Oh my-
What?
Okay, so let's just get into the
we're 2
questions.
minutes in and we're already on a tangent.
Yes. Thank you, Piffman. We
Yes,
love you.
we're back. It's been a long time.
Yeah, a really long time.
It has, yeah. I'm sorry about that. Totally sorry. It's my fault. Anyway,
It is all your fault, so.
so Marley, I think you have the right to the first question.
Okay, well, my first question is, who is, like, Super Meat Boy and Bandage Girl, like, based on? Like, who did you, like, think of when you created those characters?
Usually, if there's a hero and a damsel in distress, it's me and my wife.
Oh. That's cool.
I'm really original. It's real deep stuff. I'm reaching really far for these things.
It
I know
shows.
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to just write like that. But yeah, it's yeah.
That's cool. So, Assy,
I'll take the next question.
One
So
second?
as
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm not hearing you.
all right, so how does it feel that Super Meat Boy's initials are the same initials as Super Mario Brothers?
How does it feel? How does it feel, Tommy?
It feels much like this. It feels much the same as my initials spell out tar.
Mine don't spell anything that it's not even something that can be pronounced. So that's depressing.
Mine spell tar, and I had a long time ago, back in, I guess you would say, elementary school. I had someone tell me that if your initials spell a word, that you're going to be rich and famous. So I guess that person was right, except for the rich and famous part.
You're going to grow up.
Yeah, they were correct that I did grow up. So
You were going to be, and now you are.
yeah, well, there you go.
You will continue to exist.
Yes, this is that person was Gandhi. Gandhi told me these things.
Gandhi tells a lot of people things.
Gandhi's not real.
He told Ben Kingsley that he'll play himself, and that'll be the last good thing he ever did.
Ben Kingsley was in he was in a recent movie, wasn't he? He
was
was
Prince of
The
Persia.
Madness. That's a great movie.
yeah, wasn't he in Prince of Persia or something?
Yeah, he was Fake Jafar. Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, that's a crappy movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
What gave it away? The fact that it's a video game movie, or the fact that
Jerry Bruckheimer produced it.
yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff going against that movie.
Yeah.
I bet you made a lot of money still.
Oh yeah,
How
I'm sure it
much did it
did.
make?
Everyone wants to look at Jake Gyllenhaal's abs.
Is abs code for something else?
It's code for his dick.
I know.
It's an anagram.
All right, so what inspired you
My
guys to
abs-
create?
My abs are like 7 inches long.
Mine just I just have one giant ab, and it's really giant. I pee.
I go around and I stick my abs into all the ladies.
Yeah.
My abs are so diseased.
My abs are elongated, so it looks like I have udders like a cow. And what was your next question?
So
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Go,
ahead.
Piffin.
All right, I'm gonna play the part of the ignorant listener and ask, what the heck is Super Meat Boy? Like, what are you guys doing?
It's a platformer.
Piffin, get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. If you don't know what Super Meat Boy is by now,
I know what it is. I'm playing a role. I'm method
I
acting.
who
understand.
doesn't know about Super Meat Boy?
For those of you who don't know what Super Meat Boy is, just think of Mario without skin that can jump off walls, and you basically got the game.
So the
little faster.
Super Mario Galaxy 3, Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Mario gets his skin ripped off. Silent Hill.
Yeah, but it's like a metaphor for daddy issues.
Yes.
All right, so Marley, you got the next question.
Well, we all know that the 3DS was announced at E3, and I was just wanting to know, as for developers, what do you think of the 3DS?
I didn't see it.
Or what do you
I
think of
didn't
the
see it either.
concept?
You know, I think it's cool, but get this. Prince of Persia made $80 million.
Holy shit.
God.
I don't want to live in a world where
What a
Prince of
world!
Persia makes $80 million.
What a world.
Well,
It's like I also can't stand that Charlie Sheen makes $2 million an episode for Two and a Half Men, because I am convinced
Oh my
I am
God.
convinced that the only reason that show is on the air is because the only people that participate in Nielsen surveys are old people. I have never met anybody under the age of 70 that likes that show.
They
Ever.
don't have to worry about. They don't have children to raise. They just participate in Nielsen surveys.
Hey, Tommy.
You were very muffled. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Tommy, we
What?
have more Facebook fans than the Prince of Persia Sands of Time movie that grossed $80 million.
Oh my God.
So logic would dictate that Meat Boy will make around $100 million.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The highest grossing game of the summer.
I'm gonna stab Jerry Bruckheimer in the
Hey, wasn't Prince of Persia rated M? Wasn't the last? I swear it was rated M.
No, it was
Not
like
the
no?
last one, but
Not the last one, but two of them.
I think the Sands
Warrior
of Time
Within?
might have been M.
No, Sands of Time was T. Warrior Within was M, and Two Stars was M. But
Oh,
then
yeah,
when they
because the
re-released on the
top was
Wii,
one.
they turned it down.
Yeah, that's so weird that like a movie that would be rated M would be rated PG-13. It's
And
based on a
being
movie.
produced by Disney. Or distributed by Disney.
What a world! What a world!
Well, if
Yeah,
Grown-Ups
it's got a
makes-
38% on here.
If Grown Ups makes over 100 million, then I think I might just shoot myself in the head.
What?
Well, you know,
that
Marmaduke came in like 6th place, so there's hope.
movie with those guys. Yeah, it probably will. So get ready.
Well, you know, at least Marmaduke fell, like flat on top, so there's that.
What is with Marmaduke? Like, if I went around to every child that watches movies and asked them what Marmaduke was, they would probably scratch their head and just walk away.
It's what I spread on my
What's
toast every
Marmaduke?
morning.
What's Marmaduke? I'm completely clueless right here.
Marmaduke?
I'm
It's a
being
dog
serious.
movie. It's like Marley and Me, but even worse than Marley
They
and
still
Me.
have Owen Wilson, too. That's why he tried to kill himself.
Owen Wilson. Going back to...
Have you guys seen Dogtooth?
Anyway,
Hey, have you guys seen the movie Dogtooth?
No. The only dog movie I've seen was...
It's not a dog movie.
Homebound.
It's not a dog movie. It's a foreign film called Dogtooth. It's really fucking good. It's got a very high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going through and seeing like what movies gross versus what they're rated, and it seems like the higher rating you have critic-wise, the lower amount of money you'll make, unless you're Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Because it's in 3D.
Oh, and- Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands, the game for the movie, is rated T for teen.
Yeah. Dogtooth is
Okay,
awesome.
so that's
So,
that's a game for the movie that was about the game.
Yeah.
No, it's a side story for the game.
It's like
That's a side
it's
story
like that
for the movie.
It's like that movie Multiplicity. You remember when what's his name? Michael Keaton. He kept copying himself over and over, and like every time he would copy a copy, it got more and more retarded.
Multiplicity.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Like that's what's happening right now. Is Prince of Persia is in some crazy feedback loop. So now what they're going to do is they're going to make
And then you get
Prince of Persia, the
Lego
Sands
Prince
of
of Persia.
Time, the Sands of Time, and then
And then you get like Lego Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time, the movie, the game, the toys.
yeah, and it's just going to be really retarded, and everyone's going to be retarded afterward.
Well,
I wonder
Yeah,
what
Lego
those
Prince of Persia
guys
doesn't even have fingers.
I like that
Way
idea,
back in-
Piffman, but
Was it
Lego...
89? Prince of Persia, the original game came out in like 89 or something, the PC version. I wonder
Yeah.
if those people actually thought that it would totally be destroyed.
I don't know. I don't think anybody thinks that when they're starting out.
You know those people.
That guy,
yeah,
though.
you know those people like didn't see a penny of any of this.
Oh no, God no.
Well,
But
Jordan
yeah,
Hector was pretty. He was sticking around. Like he wrote part of the script, or at least part of something. He got his.
Yeah. He got his 80 million.
so
So.
on the topic of Super Meat Boy, I played the Flash version, which is on Newgrounds, I believe, and I was wondering what are the differences between Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy.
everything.
Yeah, everything. Literally.
The biggest difference is the Flash version is pretty awful, and the console version is really good.
Yeah, that's the main difference right there. That if we had a bullet point of differences, that would headline it.
Now everything about the Flash version is, I mean, if you can just think like the only thing that we really stuck to is the fact that, you know, the characters basically. It was basically it. We completely redid the controls. The controls are actually really good in the console version. We redid all the levels. We redid all the different chapters. Everything is completely different. The story, the way the game looks, the graphics, the effects. every little thing is completely different, except for the fact that there's Meat Boy, Bandage Girl, and Dr. Fetus.
Meat
But
Boy and
Bandage
it's-
Girl is now Bandage Girl, so there's a
That's
difference.
true.
So,
But yeah, that's it.
so it's safe to say that if you're gonna base your purchase based on the Flash game, you're an idiot.
I
You like the
wouldn't go as far as to call them idiots, because
yeah.
they'd just be buying the game. But
Yeah.
if you were buying the game based on the Flash version, you're going to be in for a very pleasant surprise.
Oh,
And if you're not buying the game based on the Flash version, then you're a fucking idiot.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Great.
Yeah.
I was talking about if you're not gonna buy the game.
Yeah, if you're not going to buy the game because of the Flash version, then go kill yourself.
All right, so Pittman, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Now this game's coming out on both WiiWare and Xbox Arcade, yes?
Yeah,
I can't-
and PC and Mac.
Okay.
What's happening?
He asked what
That's
platforms it's going to be on.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything like to share, like the differences working with between Nintendo and Microsoft, like how to when you get your game up on there, like just any interesting anecdotes?
Oh yeah, I'll let me go into this.
Knock it out.
Don't just like try to break the NDA though. So
I won't be
tell
breaking.
us what you can.
This is all opinions. My opinion of working with Nintendo and Microsoft. Nintendo's very like, we're gonna stand back and let you guys do what you want to do. When you're done, tell us and we'll put it up. Microsoft is more attentive, I guess. Technically, they invest more because Nintendo doesn't really invest as much into the product for WiiWare games. They kind of let the developers do what they want and then they put it up. I don't think they advertise for many games. Like World of Goo, I know they advertise for, but not really many others.
Since then, they haven't done one. So.
But yeah. And like, Microsoft is more, they want updates monthly and that sort of stuff too. And tech-wise, Tommy could probably tell you the differences in working with the tech.
Yeah, I mean, the Wii, and let me just disclaimer real quick. I'm a fan of all of the systems. I like them all, and I've worked on every single one of them. From Wii, Xbox, PlayStation 3. Meat Boy was running on all of those. The Wii is a very old machine. The Xbox is a relatively new machine. So when you're making a game on both, you kind of have to handhold on the Wii versus PC or Mac or Xbox or anything. The Wii is pretty powerful, but they don't give you a lot of space to do stuff. So we end up having to we basically the file limits are this. We have 2 gigs on Xbox. We have 38 meg on WiiWare. And we have to work within that, and we're working within that as best as we can. But yeah, I mean, there's just Microsoft lets you do a little bit more, but Wii is easier to deal with, I would say. So, but that's basically it right there.
Now, if you want to get to the PC or Mac version, how would you buy it?
Steam
Okay.
or off our website.
Yeah, we signed with Direct to Drive recently as well too, so there's that option as well.
Yeah,
If you like that sort of thing.
go with Steam.
We'll probably do a printed version that's physical, like a special edition type, actual physical box that we print
Tabletop
ourselves.
version?
What was that?
Like a tabletop version?
No, the tabletop version.
What?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yes, only if we can have Makita sponsor it, so I can actually have saw blades on the table that are actual dangers. That if you hit them, it cuts you.
What were those? You remember those games where it was like you set up a bunch of little toys? Like I used to simulate this, of course, when I was little, but later on they did actually made this where you'd have like blocks, basically like character blocks set up, and then you'd have these little devices that would shoot marbles at the other things, and like you take turns with the other player, like trying to knock down their castle and stuff.
don't remember that.
Remember that?
I remember
doing
Crossfire.
Yeah, well, that was different. Do you remember doing that when you were little, though? I remember in second grade when they'd give you those blocks that were all the different shapes,
Yeah.
and you'd set them up or whatever else, and the really like fine diamond blocks, you could use them like if you set them up, you could flick one side of them and flick the other side up. So if you put another block on top of it, you could fire like little green triangles across the room. You didn't do this?
No, I didn't do that. No.
This is all I did.
I think.
When I envisioned the tabletop version of Meat Boy, I envisioned like some sort of projectile type Meat Boy thing where you basically hit something and it shoots Meat Boy across the room, and you've got to like avoid things and smack on the wall.
I like that.
I think that would be awesome. I think that's marketable.
Let's do that.
As long as Meat Boy is like a super high quality like pewter figurine, like a miniature.
That shatters on impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only get one shot.
You have to rebuy them.
Yeah.
And they cost $150.
There's like a wacky wall crawler, like one of those wacky wall crawlers that like falls down the wall. I'm referencing stuff from like the 80s. I'm sure in here knows.
This is like the stuff they play on like Nickelodeon, like two in the afternoon. You have the 18-year-old to buy.
What?
It's where it's like it must be 18 or older to call. And I was like, oh.
I feel like
cut out
I hear bits and pieces of what you say, but then they come so fast I have no idea what they are.
Nah.
He's talking about how on like Nickelodeon there would be like commercials for these products, and you have to be 18 or older to call.
Oh yeah, all the little mini infomercials.
I got you. Yeah.
Like
No,
these kids are speaking another language. That's not English. And it was like they're speaking French, and there's some cartoon blue character that you got to buy. It's another reference from the 80s, boys. Hi,
I
kids.
apologize.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
How old are you guys?
Oh, 20.
17.
Oh.
18.
Okay, yeah. We're going to reference stuff that you have no fucking clue.
Yeah, this is 10 years before your birth.
That's awesome. I'm going to continue to do that as we go. Just reference stuff that they would have absolutely no clue about.
Nothing can stop the animal.
Best podcast ever.
Let's have a whole conversation about Thundercats.
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose.
I had the plastic sword, and it lit up.
I didn't like Thundercats because the evil guy really creeped me out. It reminded me a lot of Voltron, and I hated that show too because it creeped me out.
I didn't like Voltron. I didn't like Voltron at all.
Huh?
I had some Voltron guys, but I was all about Transformers.
Voltron was pretty fucking awesome, though. Like, the characters were cool. I just didn't like the shows because they were really weird and depressing. Like Scooby-Doo. Just the way things were drawn were just so drab and depressing. Everything was just gross.
Yeah.
That's why the 80s sucked.
It's true.
Scooby. You guys are lucky to be born in the 90s. Except you missed all the good 90s. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they replayed a lot of the early 90s stuff in the late 90s, like Captain Planet and stuff. I remember watching Thundercats as a child.
I'm talking about like early
Power Rangers. That was around.
Oh, Power Rangers. Fuck that.
Movies and music and TV was. You guys lived. So if you were born in '90, you lived through. By the time you became self-aware, like by 13 or whatever, you've just been living in like the worst decade in existence.
Yeah, seriously, that was like two years after 9/11. So I imagine that your parents, because your parents are obviously younger than our parents, that would mean they're a little less grounded. So did they like make you take duct tape and like plastic bags to school just in case, like?
Well, my parents are black, so they don't care. Like,
what the fuck does that mean?
my parents aren't having that.
So yeah, well, honestly, white people are very, very irrational. and where you may say your parents didn't care, or they were just like not having that. That's because they were actually reasoning through these scenarios. Whereas white people, they basically they see like, oh, somebody lit their shoe on fire. Let's check everyone's shoes for the next 10 years. You know what security in America, you know what it needs? It needs me, because I can think of a shitload more ways to kill people than a terrorist. It's easy.
Yeah, it's not hard to kill a bunch of people.
No, it's
I'll do it with my hands.
Yeah, I can take a skateboard.
Dude, I'd fucking be like that monkey that ate the woman's face.
Yeah, you just rip their face.
How can you stop me? How can you stop me from ripping off all the faces of all the people in the plane?
Yeah, are they going to tackle you? No, because the first time you rip off someone's face, there's going to be at least a minute of shock. And then by that time, you rip off like 18
Holy
more
shit,
people.
her face!
Yeah.
I think you guys need to make a game where Meat Boy enacts all these scenarios.
See,
Meat Boy is he's a pure character
in a sociopathic world.
He
So,
never-
Epic Meat Boy, you gotta darken him up. You get Warren Spector to do it.
Warren Spector.
Hey, you know what, Tommy? You know what they all missed out on? There's two things from like the '80s that were really bizarre. For paranoia, white paranoia, I could say. One of them was Stranger Danger. Remember in the '80s?
Oh yeah.
Everybody believed that you'd go to a park and there would be some pervert picks you up and rapes you.
Yeah.
Rapes you.
Yeah, just
That
on the
was like-
spot.
This huge paranoia. Like back in the '80s, like families had code words for kids. They'd be like, if somebody comes up to you in the park and says, "Your mom's in the hospital, you need to come with me," you say, "What's the code word?"
What was your code word?
My mom always said that we should do this, and then we never did.
Okay, because mine was purple meatloaf.
Dude, don't give it away.
No shit.
Give
I'm
it
gonna get
away.
raped in the park.
Yeah, well, that was one. It's weird. It was a crazy amount of paranoia, and it actually stemmed from this major paranoia of like Satanism. In the '80s, people believed that there were really Satanists that would sacrifice children, which has never been proven ever. There's been never one case of like satanic sacrifice or anything like that. But there was all these rumors because the Christian right from the '70s like wanted so badly. It had to do. I'm giving you guys a history lesson here.
Yeah.
It had to do with like.
I should know because
the porn industry of the '70s got so big. They thought that there was being such a crazy moral issues that the Christian right started making shit up about Satanist cults that would go around and have orgies and ritual sacrifices and all this crazy thing like molest kids. And then that became Stranger Danger, where they were saying like Satanists were going around and kidnapping kids and sacrificing them. And then that actually got pulled into D&D, which was popular in the '80s with uber nerds like me. And that was considered, satanic and evil and associated with ritual sacrifice. And that was just all the white paranoia of the '80s. That was so awesome that you guys missed.
It was.
Well, it took a little while before games got ripped into that. Mortal Kombat and whatnot.
Yeah.
Doom and
That was way
Columbine.
before. That was when it was
awesome.
all right for there to be an Atari game where you rape an Indian woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Right?
we had Custer's Revenge!
Yeah, it's because it wasn't looked at as like this huge industry or this thing that actually influenced children or whatever. So this was like way before any of that stuff.
Took
Yeah,
Mortal
Custer's
Kombat for
Revenge.
the ESRB to come out.
Eat 'em and
Yeah.
eat 'em.
Yeah.
So,
I have a Meat Boy question.
Wait. There was a Tommy. Did you ever hear of the game Roger Ramrod?
No.
There was a freeware first-person game that ran off, I believe, the Doom engine called Roger Ramrod, where you just jerk off on people and then they become like a mess.
Hey, I think I remember that.
It was awesome. You could
Oh,
also
look,
piss
I
and
know.
fart on people to kill them.
I think my
It was
dad.
it was indie. It was an independently made game in the early '90s. It was it was shareware. You could actually like download it for free.
Oh, yeah, here it is on classicpcgames.com.
It's awesome.
I want to play this tonight alone.
Through the spirit.
all right. So, in terms of Super Meat Boy, How easy would you say it was to start developing for Xbox Live Arcade versus WiiWare?
Well, first developing on the PC, like that's where everything stems from.
Yeah, everything started on the PC, and Xbox and PC are basically identical. So porting over to the Xbox was a matter of a day. And for the Wii, I had to do a whole bunch of like hand-holding stuff because the engine uses shaders, and the Wii doesn't have any shaders, so I had to do all fixed function pipeline stuff. And so yeah, it was definitely easier on Xbox.
But I was talking about getting the development kits.
Oh, well then it's the Wii. Because we just bought the development kit on the Wii, and then we had to
All you need to develop on the Wii is a... I guess this is probably misleading because other people would argue. For us, all we needed was an office, or at least an address that was an office.
And then you could go to warioworld.com or whatever?
Yeah, well, you need that, and then you need to give them money, and then they give you your kit.
Yeah.
Right.
With the Xbox, you can't get a kit until you're all signed up. Like, a lot of people don't realize it, but we had been talking to Microsoft basically the whole time that when we had already announced for WiiWare. But it takes a lot because they're a lot more by the book.
Yeah, well, they have more. They have quality assurance where WiiWare, it is quite literally, if you have an office, you can then purchase a dev kit and then you can get on WiiWare. Whereas there is no quality approval process there. And Xbox, actually, you go through several committees and all these meetings and stuff to make sure that your game is a fit for Xbox Live. And so it kind of works that way.
We couldn't legally say that we were developing for the Xbox, even though it was in development until we got the okay from them. And that's why it took so long for us to say, hey, we're going to be going multi-platform. Even though we hinted at it for forever that we were going to be multi-platform, but we could never literally just say, yes, it's going to be on Xbox, yes, it's going to be on the PlayStation. But, well, I mean, we had it running on the PlayStation as well, but we couldn't talk about that either. Mm-hmm. But we ended up not signing with Sony because they weren't that interested.
Yeah.
They'll probably be interested once you release it.
They already are, but it's
they were interested right after we signed with Microsoft.
And it was funny because it was like, oh, hey, can we check out that game? And I was like, I sent you a build 3 months ago running on a PlayStation, and I never heard back. Oh, you sent us a build? And then I just forehead slap.
I call him Kevin Butler, VP of Meat Boy Interest.
What?
The PlayStation, it only does everything commercials, the Kevin Butler.
That guy. Yeah, it only does everything, but just not organized at all.
Now, are the WiiWare development kits, is it like the exact same as the regular Wii development kit, or?
Yeah, it's the same. It's
it's just hardware.
Wii development kit.
So if you have a Wii development kit, you could just do WiiWare, or if you have a Wii, so okay. In terms of writing code, in your personal opinion, what do you guys think of managed code over native code?
Managed code is shit. It's slow and it's stupid. Native code's better because you write it yourself and you manage it yourself, and therefore you get more speed and everything out of it. Like you can optimize the shit out of code you write that isn't being managed by some other system that you have no control over. So like managed code is more for when you're like just starting out and you're trying to learn and you're basically just trying to be productive. And native code is when you're like trying to make something that is, I don't want to say stable because managed code is stable, but something that is tailored to systems basically. You know, Meat Boy couldn't work on XNA because, well, XNA is C#, and C#, there is no sort of, well, it's C# and DirectX. So there is no support for C# or DirectX on the Wii or on the Mac or anything like that. So you just have to you basically have to write it all yourself. So yeah, I hate managed code. I hate all of those kind of systems. I also hate open source. I think open source is the worst thing to ever happen to programming ever, because it just makes lazy programmers that copy and paste stuff from other people, and then they don't fully understand it. And then I get a call, hey, we need you to fix this code, and then I do. Well, I don't anymore, but that was what my job used to be. Is, oh, we hired this company to do this, and they fucked it up, and then I was like, oh, okay. Then I had to fix it, so I had to rewrite all of their stuff because they copied and pasted from all other people. But that's me.
So you're like Bill Gates.
Me? No.
When it comes to open source?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Like, there will never be like an open source version of my engine, because if somebody, it's like this. I will help anybody. Like, if random people will contact us or something and ask a programming question, I will help, because I believe in helping people, but I don't believe in just giving people code, because it's like, it's the whole teach a man to fish,
right, yeah.
and he'll be fine for the rest of his life. But if you just give him shit, then he's gonna depend on that. So yeah, there'll never be an open source version of any engine that I write, but I will gladly help anybody out, and I do all the time. I'll gladly help anybody out if with programming questions or like architecture concerns or anything like that, just because that's just helping, and that's causing them to learn and be better programmers. But that's me. People say I'm weird, but they can all fuck off.
So what do you guys think about the Xbox Live indie games movement?
Movement?
Or I don't know if it's a movement, because nothing really sells there, but there's some like good stuff like about solar. That was all right. What do you guys think about?
I think it's pretty awesome that there was kind of like flash in the indie scene when they gave it that title, Xbox indie games, because of course Xbox Live games that are indie, it's like, wait. Like, what are you saying? Are you saying the indie games are the games that don't make it to Xbox Live? Like, it seems weird. But, I mean, looking back, I think it's pretty cool that they're, giving people the option that can't get on Xbox Live to make games for console, basically, and get that experience and get it out there. There's quite a few games that have made a lot of money and got a lot of attention on there. So, yeah, I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Never even looked.
Yeah.
Never even put the game on there. But I think it's still an awesome option for people who can't get signed to develop for Xbox Live.
I wish that would have been around when I was in like middle school or something, because I would have jumped all over that, because it would have been like, oh, awesome, I can make a game on Xbox, and it would have been a good way to start out, and it would have been a good way to like develop those skills early and stuff. I think it's pretty awesome that, I mean, everybody hates on Microsoft, and Microsoft hate is so stupid because they sort of provide more to the development community and the gaming community than any other platform. And it's like, that's totally undeniable. I mean, you don't see like fucking iPhone, you still have to go through like all this bullshit and download all this shit and buy a fucking iPhone and do this and do that. Like,
you got to buy a Mac too.
Fuck iPhone.
Yeah,
I want one right now.
I hate iPhone. But yeah, I mean, it's like those are just awesome tools that people can use to express themselves and make a game, and they can do it. They don't need to get a job or be with a publisher or something to do that. And I think that's awesome. And I think from that you're going to see like a lot more like experimental things and a lot more personal sort of. It's going to be like the beginning of just reinsurgence of creative games and stuff, because right now it's like so locked that there's just first-person shooters, and then there's like RTS games, and then there's just crappy third-person games, and it's like
Super Meat Boy.
And then Super Meat Boy is one of those games that is emerging via just love and creativity. It's not emerging via $20 million from Ubisoft to make a shitty game. It's it's being created and it's not being manufactured, and that's what those larger games are. So, but yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad they made that, and I know for a fact right now, without going into any kind of detail, I know for a fact Sony is going to copy that very soon because they're always last to the fucking party.
Super Meat Boy has other characters from other games, like Tim from Braid and the guy from the BitTrip games. Where'd you get that idea to do that?
In the original Flash version, I got to play around with that. I put in a couple independent characters from other developers that I liked, because the original Meat Boy prototype was kind of an homage to platforming games, and there were a lot of platforming games in the indie scene. So I put some random characters in there. I think like Castle Crashers were in there, and the ninja from N was in there. And then when we made the move to console, we thought, okay, we should do this, but on maybe a more grand scale, like a more ambitious kind of approach to it. Because in the Flash version, it was just skins. The character didn't change at all, so it was really easy to implement. For this, it was kind of like what we were talking about. We have the ability to make a mainstream game on multiple mainstream consoles, and it was back to the community that we came from, and possibly reference those things. Like, I mean, quite a few people know who Commander Video from the BitTrip games is, and especially they know who Tim from Braid is. But there are more obscure characters like Fly Wrench and Ogmo that are exclusive to the PC online indie scene that I think people will unlock and go, what the hell's Fly Wrench? It's like the same thing like when you're playing Smash Brothers and you unlock some semi-obscure Japanese character you've never heard of. You go and try to find out who that is and what game that's from. So it was our hope that people would kind of do the same thing, and it would basically point the finger back at the community that they possibly don't know about, and they'd find a lot of really cool games, and even maybe bring attention to them enough to also bring them to console as well. Other than that, it was a cool way to experiment with it almost has like a Metroidvania aspect to it, where when you unlock a character that has a new ability that can do things that Meat Boy can't, the game's kind of set up in a way where there are certain band-aids or there are certain warp zones or even certain shortcuts that Meat Boy can't easily access or access at all. So if you unlock a character that has like ability like double jump or the ability to stick to a wall or something along those lines, there are actually levels that are set up for those characters to explore and kind of exploit their abilities to get certain other unlockables. And it adds an exploration aspect to the game where you try to remember, hey, Meat Boy couldn't get in there, but now I've got a guy who can double jump, so I'm going to re-explore and see if I can get there now. So it adds a lot to the game, and it also had some meaning when it came to the characters we put in.
Now, I was looking at your Wikipedia
explanation.
page. I was looking at your Wikipedia page, and I saw under partial softography that you're credited for Braid. What exactly did you do for that game?
I designed Tim. I did the character design, and I did all the animation.
Oh.
That's cool.
And I see another game on here called Cunt. What is that all?
You'd have to play it to fully appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have a question. We all have games that inspire us or anything that inspires us. So what game most inspired you to become developers and create Super Meat Boy?
What inspired us to be developers? Tommy, you want to go first?
Sure. Mine's kind of a little story. I've always wanted to develop video games, and I went to college. I was going to be a electrical engineer, and then I just started. Well, I started programming back when I was 11, but I got into college and I started making a website and everything, and I ended up flunking all of my programming classes because they were all stupid dicks. They gave me half off like a 50% on an assignment because it didn't take up 2 pages when it did exactly what the assignment was supposed to do in 1 page. And so they failed me. So I failed my programming classes because of those reasons. And I left, and I started like web programming, server programming stuff. And I kind of lived that way for a while. I got paid a lot of money, and I had this house, this fucking huge house in Charlotte, and this sports car and all this crap. And like all of my time was either spent working the job I was doing or doing contract jobs. And I still always played video games, and I always would try to like build my own engine or something like that, but actual real job would get in the way. And one day I had a subscription to Electronic Gaming Monthly forever. And one day in Charlotte, this was back in 2005, I was reading through it, and there was an article on a new Zelda game, which would become Twilight Princess. And there was a little offshoot article, and it basically was talking about the fishing minigame. And it was talking about the programmer that made it. And the design document didn't have anything about the fishing game in there. But instead, this guy, he loved fishing, and he loved programming, so what he did is he coded it. He coded the fishing minigame on his own time, like after hours when his regular job was done. And as I'm sitting there reading that, I'm thinking to myself, what do I do in my spare time? And the answer to that was I did shitty websites and server shit for Duraflame and NASCAR. So right after that, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is dumb. I'm not happy. So I sold the house, and I sold the car, I sold everything. And around that time, a friend of mine was working over in Amsterdam, and he was working on an Xbox Live game, and they were like, hey, they need a network programmer. And I was like, well, that sounds good. And that's when I sold everything and left. But I think it was not one game in particular that inspired. It was more games in general inspired me to move over there, because it was just something I always wanted to do, and I loved the experiences that stuff like Zelda and Mario and Metal Gear. I loved aspects of every one of those games. Like I loved the stories in Metal Gear. Like if I didn't know anything about games, Metal Gear would have inspired me to go into like, I don't know, film writing or something like that, because I just loved telling the storytelling and everything like that. But because I knew games, and it's like I like to program, it just kind of made sense. So that's basically it for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me, I did comics independently when I was younger in high school, and as I progressed out of high school into my failed attempts at community college, I continued to do that, but then I made the move to online, interactive online stuff. I did a bunch of Flash stuff in the 99, 2000, and that's when I ran into Tom Fulp from Newgrounds, and I started working with him on a game, and that didn't go anywhere because he started working on Alien Hominid. It was around that time where I was like, I need to, if I'm going to make my own game, I need to start working with people who can help me make it. And I started working with a company called Chronic Logic, and I worked with them for a few months before I pitched the idea of Gish. And Gish was my first independent game, and it went on to win a few awards. And that was basically my introduction to the independent scene. And I kind of always wanted to be independent. But I didn't know if I wanted to make games. I really didn't know much about them. I didn't think it was possible to make games, because I thought you needed a big old team of shitloads of people. And it wasn't until working with Tom and working with Chronic Logic that I realized that you basically only needed 2 people to do it. And that was it.
Interesting. Piffman, do you have any more questions?
Not besides just like, can you tell us any more details about release? Like, are we getting closer at least to coming out?
What was that?
I'm just
When
like,
is the?
you know, anything more about when it's coming out?
I can barely hear you.
Do you have any,
I'm sorry.
like
I'm sorry,
how
I'm in a really
close
bad
is
location.
Super Meat Boy to release?
Again, I didn't get that because you guys were talking at the same time.
Wants to know, or we want to know, when is Super Meat Boy releasing? When is that coming out?
Pretty soon. We don't actually have a set date for it yet. It'll be as close to the end of summer as we can possibly get.
Oh, okay.
We should be wrapping up content. Like content wise, for me, I have about 15 more levels to make, and about 4 more cutscenes, and then it's all polishing the game up and making it super pretty and nice and very functional. The game is almost done. I'd say we have another month and a half of real hardcore development, and then we're basically finished. But
So you'd
once
say
we're-
August, September.
You could say that. Hopefully, I mean, but it's totally out of our hands once we get it done. I mean, it goes through the submission process of approvals, where we've got to make sure that it runs perfectly, and we need to go through ESRB and all that bullshit. And then, both Microsoft and Nintendo, they're going to want to place it, and there's all that too. It's like, where's the best placement for the game? What date? All that bullshit. It's all business stuff. So it's getting pretty close to finished, and it's pretty close to being completely out of our hands when it comes to the release date. But I think we'll probably be at least announcing a release date in the next 2 months.
Yeah, probably.
So
I can wait.
my
It
next
looks
question.
great. It looks
Okay.
great.
Thank you.
So for my next question, I wanted to ask Tommy just at his beginnings. What was the first programming language you ever started using?
It was,
What did you start out with?
QBasic on a Panasonic laptop that weighed about 40 pounds. There were these.
So you never.
I'm sorry.
So you never tried assembly or anything?
No, I mean I know assembly now, but yeah, my dad knew BASIC. Like my dad, he owned a cabinet shop, so what he did was, I mean, this was back in the 80s and shit. So he would write, like he wrote his own like accounting software for his cabinet shop, and he just kind of got into programming and stuff. And then when he showed me one day, and I remember this day very, very clear. He had an office down in the garage, and he's like, hey, you need to see this. And what he had was a little line drawing on the screen. It was a black and white TV hooked up to this really, really old Tandy that took cassette tapes as data. So he was like, hey, you need to look at this. And it was just, he used the arrow to move this line around the screen, and it was like a little drawing program he was messing with. And yeah, so he's like, he gave me some of his basic books, and then just kind of, yeah, just kind of went from there and just sort of programmed and just discovered and experimented with the computers and all that crap. So, but yeah, and then I moved into C++ in high school, and then like everything else just sort of naturally came about, because when you know one, you know them all. All you need to know is syntax at that point.
Right.
But yeah.
So if you were say someone's writing a program in C#, how easy would it be to like just like go back and rewrite the program in C++?
Well, I mean, it depends on the program. I mean, if you're using C#, you're going to be using Manage DirectX, which Manage DirectX takes a lot of the control away from you and does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So if you wanted to do a direct port, and you wanted to, if you wanted to do a direct port of something in C# over to C, you would either have to copy the functions that Manage DirectX uses to like draw and fill vertex buffers and create shaders and stuff. You would have to copy their functionality exactly to do that, or you would just have to just take the basic concept of what you wrote and then rewrite it all in C++ with non-Managed DirectX. So, I mean, it's not and yes, it would be easy, or no, it wouldn't be, because it could be, oh, I just needed to draw one quad because I have one function that just draws a quad that I use over and over in the C# code. Or it could be super complicated, like now I have to compile a bunch of shaders and crap and different pipeline stuff. So yeah, I mean, personally, I've never messed with C#, but I understand it's sort of close to Java, and like a mix between Java and C. So there would be like a lot of like architectural stuff that you would have to adjust over to C++. But overall, I don't think it would be that bad.
Do you ever get angry when like video game reviewers or video game journalists like think that programming is easy, or creating a game is easy?
I think I actually get more mad at the fanboys. Like the journalists, I think if a journalist is like, oh, it's easy to program, and they don't program, well, then they're just kind of being ignorant. But like, if the fanboys are the ones I get mad at, because like if you go to a site and a bunch of people are like ripping on your game because it's coming out on Xbox and WiiWare, and they're ripping on it, and they're saying, oh, you could do leaderboards, or you could do this and that. They're like 13 years old, and they have no access to anything that like Nintendo or Microsoft provides. So they're just like, they're just being trolls. Like that's the only thing. Like I've never seen a journalist go, oh, that it would be easy to fix this or that, because I don't think somebody that's like in the games journalist stuff, unless they're like just starting out, they kind of know that it's not a switch that you flick on the Xbox to make Meat Boy or to make Assassin's Creed or anything like that. It's a long development process. It's just like, it's the trolls that don't understand that. Oh, you just paint a picture and it moves around and you can control it. That's easy. If only it worked that way, but it doesn't.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of, of gamers who don't understand at all how not only the programming side but just the business side of things work. Where like people think that we have this game that's done and we're just holding it, not letting them have it. Like,
yeah, or the other thing I get a lot is, and it's from my friends who are my age. They're like, "Oh, how much is Microsoft paying you for this?" It's like, however much it makes. I don't know how to answer the question, because they think and that's more of like an indie versus mainstream thing. But they think, oh, now I work for Microsoft, and now I get a paycheck from Microsoft. So they don't understand when I go out with them that I'm like, hey, I don't have any money. Put your game on Xbox. I'm like, it's not fucking out yet. I don't have any money because I'm still trying. Oh, well, didn't they pay you? No. They're not going to pay me until it's out, until it's done.
Yeah, there's a lot of bizarre misconceptions. Like, it's just like, God, it's just the illusion. It's most people are used to dealing with people who are a faceless company. Like, if you post, hey, Assassin's Creed, why isn't that coming out for this system? The guy that made it isn't sitting at home reading it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people know us by name, and they can track us down if they want to know something. It's not hard to find us. And because of that, it's also really annoying to us, where we got people that are basically calling us out saying, you guys are assholes for not doing it for PlayStation 3. When it's like, no, you don't understand. If we had the ability to totally do that, we would put it on PlayStation 3, but Sony didn't get back to us, and then we signed with Microsoft, and that was the end of the deal. Or people who think that, hey, you're assholes for signing with Microsoft, when they don't understand that we were talking to them the whole fucking time, that we just couldn't say anything because of NDA. There's just all these little details that are confusing to people, and, can speak wild, and people think that two guys that are fucking completely poor and working out of their houses at this point are screwing them over for what reason, I don't know. I don't know what we have to gain by screwing people over, when all we're trying to do is just make a really cool game that we think people will like. That's it. That's as deep as it goes here. We're not signing crazy deals where we're making money because we signed this deal with Microsoft. We're not fucking getting any money. There's no money coming in here. We got
no money for going on Xbox.
It's all this illusion that people assume that things are a certain way because they've heard that the mainstream works this way. When realistically, it's as simple as we are two guys with no money who are developing games for these systems. That's it. We don't get any money from these people. If we have the ability to do all these magical things that people expect of us, like release the game now, put it in some sort of arcade, put it on PlayStation 3 and all the handheld consoles, we need to get dev kits for those systems. It's not. It's completely impossible. These things aren't possible. All they need to do is think to themselves. If they want to know why we didn't put Meat Boy on the PlayStation 2, it's for the same reason that they didn't put their game on PlayStation 3 or 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because we can't. It's as simple as that. It's not on all handhelds because we don't have the money to get it. We don't have those kits.
My favorite comment lately was it was on a site that referenced the WiiWare version of the game. It's like no one cares if your game maybe doesn't come out. We just want you guys to stop being lazy and stop pulling stuff out of the game. Because okay, you have a size limit. Well, then take music out. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? Okay, I'll take all the music out. There you go. Now what? You gonna bitch about it not having any music? I mean, it's like, I'm really lazy. I'm the only programmer programming on 4 systems. I'm really lazy, and I sit there and there's this button that goes. It's like when I compile the game, it goes, how big would you like this game to be? and instead of doing the easy, obvious thing. Or no, there's actually a series of buttons. There is, how big would you like this game to be, and what sort of online would you like, and what sort of leaderboards. And if I check all of those, then I will appease every single Wii fanboy that's mad that the Wii version won't have leaderboards. But I just don't, because I hate them. And I'm like,
not going to press the button.
Yeah, I'm like, I could easily compile 500 megs of music down to 38 megs, but no.
Don't press that button.
You don't get that. No.
It's the idea, the fucking insane idea that we think, hey, I got an idea. Let's make a shitty version of the game. That's going to be our goal. Our goal is to make a shitty version of the game to spite people. It's like it's coming right back to us. If a version was shitty, then it would come right back to us, and that would be horrible. We're trying to make the best possible game for all the systems that we possibly can do. It's not like we're going to, let's see here. Let's screw these people over here. Let's do this. That'll show them.
Oh, you have a Wii? Well, you're going to buy it, but you're not going to get what you want.
There's a lot of that, though. Like, it's only really coming from, like, one site at this point. But and a lot of the confusion, I think, has to do with the way certain things are worded.
It's called sensationalizing a story. And for some reason... These sites will say, for anonymity's sake, these sites, instead of, hey, cool, Meat Boy has 300 levels, it's up from 100 from when we announced it. It's 100 now to over 300. Don't announce that. Instead, well, you're not going to get leaderboards. Like, anybody gives a shit about leaderboards.
It's like,
oh, it's coming out first on Xbox. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hard thing.
As a journalist, journalism sucks.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do though? I mean, the other side of that is, of course, the fact that the more sensationalized and controversial is, the more people will read it and comment on it. Like, we've had comments on sites that it's like basically, what was it? We announced something. I think it was basically what Tommy was saying. Like, we announced that there were going to be more levels, but Xbox was going to have leaderboards and the Wii wasn't, and that got around like all these sites, all these big sites posted about, the huge amount of extra content for all systems, right? Oh, it's a 300 plus level game. It's really epic. And one site posted basically that we screwed over Nintendo by not putting leaderboards on their system, and that was the only yeah, you didn't press the button, and that was the only news post that got 100 comments, and all the other ones, people were like, oh, that's cool or whatever, but it wasn't as big of a deal as the fact that let's sensationalize this and say that we're screwing everybody over, and then let's argue about it in the comments. And I understand that that gets people active on your website and everything too, but it's just all it does is just confuse people. It confuses people on what's going on. It makes us seem like we're this villainous company of faceless people when we're fucking right there commenting in the damn comments. We're approachable people. We're just like everybody else. And it's just weird how that works. And it got us a lot of attention, but realistically, everybody's going to be happy with the game that they get. I guarantee that you're not going to be, if you get the WiiWare version, and you also have an Xbox, and you decided that you want to get it for WiiWare or whatever, and you're not going to be staying up at night thinking, God damn it! If only there were leaderboards.
I'm gonna kill myself now.
Yeah. It's not something that's going to matter to you, and we're trying our fucking hardest to make sure that it's basically the same game on all these systems. The only differences you're going to see on the Xbox are online stuff that we couldn't really do on the Wii, unless we wanted to push the game back till next year, which would have just upset a fucking shitload more people.
Yeah, and we could have done online. However, I want to point out something that people just seem to forget. Smash Brothers, little game some people have heard of. Smash Brothers, little no-name game, but their online sucked. And that's a team funded by Nintendo with servers that Nintendo purchased for them. I'm one guy. We don't have tens of thousands of dollars to buy servers that are dedicated to making a multiplayer version of this game when multiplayer isn't even fun in this game. It's how do people expect us to do it when it's not even done well by the people that invented the system? It's it's that button again. Make it work correctly online. And that's Smash Brothers didn't compile it with that either. Do you want lag in your game? Yeah.
Press the hell out of that button.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and put lag in there. But yeah, it's just there is so much involved in making a multiplayer game on the Wii. It is not feasible for a team of two people, one being an artist, the other being a programmer, to actually do that. It is not feasible, and it doesn't work. And the evidence is, I can count the number of online multiplayer Wii games on one hand that work. That work well. I mean, I know GoldenEye is going to be online multiplayer, and I really hope it's awesome because I'm excited about that game, but I have my doubts. And that's
Monster Hunter Try. I'm playing a lot of that game. That game actually works pretty well, but it is very rare.
Which one?
Monster Hunter Try?
Oh yeah. That's how much money did that game make in Japan before it came over here? What was it? Didn't it sell 11 million copies?
Yeah.
They have the money. It was the biggest Wii game in Japan ever.
Yeah. They have the money to develop that stuff, and they have the servers, which I'm sure are costing them several $1,000s a month to make sure that
you have to pay to be online in subscription.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was free when it came out in America.
Yeah, because no one in America cares about Monster Hunter.
Capcom rationalized it, thought that, Monster Hunter is really an established franchise in Japan, so people would be willing to pay for online, but in America it's not really so much, so they would probably be hurting themselves if they forced people to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like me.
Well, I put a pre-order.
I wanted to try that out, but I just haven't had a chance yet. But
I put a pre-order down, but I canceled it because I just never got around to. I mean, I played the demo, and it's you know.
It's going on a Monster Hunter tangent. Like, I don't understand how a demo for that game tells you nothing about what makes that game good.
I didn't play the demo, so I don't know.
Tommy, do you remember that whole fiasco?
I mean, it was the demo was good.
Monster Hunter. Okay. When Tommy was over and we're working on Meat Boy, we hear about the Monster Hunter demo, right? And we're like,
because we're at the Wii or something.
We gotta get it. It's a must-have demo, right? So we go over and we like scoured the GameStops to find a copy of the demo. We get home. I've never opened the demo. Yeah, my first through. It was just one of those things where it seemed like for a little while it was something that we wanted to check out, and then for whatever reason it just faded away.
Yeah, it's
a game that you can't show what's good about it in a demo. It's just weird.
I just never got around to getting the money to buy it, you know. And then the Metroid Other M's coming out. I just figured I'll just take the pre-order money and put it into Metroid Other M.
It's a mistake.
Do you want me to break your heart right now, or do you want to wait? Because I can tell you this. I am a huge Metroid fan. I believe I've beaten Super Metroid probably 20 times. And I've played Other M. I did not like Other M at all.
God damn it.
I played Other M and I walked out because it was horrible. Horrible.
I'm going to tell you right now, the reason I stayed in the demo was I was flirting with the girl that was demoing it.
Nice.
I wish I would have got her name because she was super hot. But yeah, no.
Her name was Samus.
I don't want to give too much away, because you know what, you might like it. You might. I did not. I thought it was a bad idea to do what they did with it. But that's me.
Yeah, from a design point, like as a game designer, I honestly think that it was the design choices that they made were disgraceful to the series. I think it was a big disgrace. I think it was horrible. I think it's a joke. It was just god awful. Like, I don't understand why they did what they did. It's completely illogical. But this is the demo that I played. I didn't play the full game. I played the demo, and from the demo, which was supposed to demo the game for me, what they showed me was really bad. You'll see if you buy it, and maybe you'll like it, and maybe it gets better. But like, there are certain aspects of design. Like, okay, when you talk about Metroid, there's a formula that's always introduced in Metroid where it's usually Samus loses her powers, and then you go around progressively getting those powers, and it's creating this illusion. And the illusion is that you are growing as a player and getting more and more powerful, like leveling up. It's the illusion of leveling up, and that's why those games are awesome. And Zelda does this too when you gain items. It's a progression of building into this ultimate destructive, I'm a fucking unstoppable ass-kicking robot chick girl. But in this game, what they do is they give you all your abilities, and then there's a guy who says, hey, you can't use that ability.
Adam Malkovich, tell you how it is.
And that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it just goes against the game's initial design of what makes it good and what makes it a memorable and great experience.
Put Samus in her place.
The illusion of progressing from something that's helpless to something that's epic. And when you're just, it's like, where's the logic here? Why can't Samus use her ice beam? Because the guy says she can't.
Because she's young and naive.
It's a possibility that it's a possibility that maybe they're just doing that for the demo because they didn't feel like.
I don't know. There were an awful lot of
that's part of the plot stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
that's my concern with the game. I mean, the plot is gonna be too weird in anime.
Well, honestly, I didn't get an anime vibe from it. I got I got this from it. I am a big studio. I want to turn this into something that could maybe get us some sort of movie contract. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
was like that Mortal Kombat trailer.
Oh my god, that Mortal Kombat trailer was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna see that for the cheese alone. It's gory Mortal Kombat. That was like what my 13-year-old self would kill for back then.
Yeah.
Fucking over the top, fucking I guess R-rated, super bloody version of Mortal Kombat. You have no idea what a disappointment that was as a kid to have a game like Mortal Kombat that you loved because you could rip off Sonya's head. And that was the controversy. To boil down to a PG-13 movie that was totally retarded. I mean, I'm sure this movie's going to be retarded. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's going to be horrible.
The Mortal Kombat movie cannot be anything but retarded.
Horrible in the best way. Like,
Yeah.
I will watch it because it's fucking horrible, but horribly good.
Ninja Assassin.
Horribly awesome.
Well,
Like
I'm one of those
Speed Racer.
people where I'm one of those people where if say I don't like the gameplay or the controls, like I'll still play through the game as long as I find like maybe the story interesting. I mean, it's what
You're
got me to
dumb.
play through.
That's dumb.
Well, it's what got me to play through the Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. So
Well, it's good. It's good that you're forgiving on controls because the controls for other M are fucking awful.
Yeah, unless they
They're
change them.
retarded.
Yeah, they are fucking retarded.
You have to turn like you have to. Oh my god, it's just so bad. It
Yeah,
uses,
I forgot about the turn.
you use the damn remote on its side, right? Okay, and then in order to load your missile launcher, you've got to turn it up on its side. It doesn't even make sense to the action. Like usually Nintendo will try to tie their gimmick into some sort of action, just pull Link's arrow back. Okay, that makes sense. You're pulling it back. This is like reload your missiles. Turn the Wiimote on its side. All right, there I go, loading those missiles in, and then it goes from suddenly you're running around in third person, which is just awful for Metroid, period. And then you have to point at the screen again, but you can't move around. It's like, why not just give me the goddamn good game that I played before? I'd rather have. At this point, I'd rather just have the old faithful first-person 3D Metroid that was already good, and maybe throw a few innovations in there and let me play that. But no, I won't be buying that game because the demo that I played was really bad.
Yeah.
Well, they got 2 more months. Maybe they'll fix it. It was supposed to come out tomorrow, and now it's coming out in August.
Well,
that's right.
you never know, but I sincerely doubt it. I'm going to be. I mean, I could be completely surprised by the reviews, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that game's going to get 8s at most.
Yeah. At most, yeah. I'm gonna go with 8s. I'm gonna say that there is going to be a couple hardcore journalists. I would think of all the sites, I would think Destructoid would rip it apart because they seem to be the most that are on the total level of wow, don't fuck that up. I would think they would do that, but yeah, I don't know. It was disappointing, to say the least.
But luckily, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to after E3 with Nintendo. So
yeah,
let's just forget about the next Metroid. And
well, honestly, that Metroid is not done by Nintendo. If it was done by Nintendo, it would be good. It's done by Ninja.
It's probably because Team Ninja.
Well, yeah. Well, they certainly got her tits right. I'll say that.
Well, you make it sound like part of the flaw is the fact that you only use the Wii remote on its side, right?
No, that's not. That's part of it. But that's it. You're using a method of input that only works with 2D to move a character around in 3D, and that doesn't work.
And that was a mandate from Sakamoto from Nintendo.
Yeah, then they should have just made a 2D side scroller, but put 3D graphics in it.
Yeah, and that would have been awesome.
Like they're doing with Donkey Kong, which is awesome. Our sound guy's doing sound for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, little known fact. Our sound guy got the job doing sound effects for Donkey Kong.
Oh, wow,
that's cool.
That's interesting. Yeah. I guess all the news sites are going to pick that up.
Fascinating.
They push the button.
Yeah.
let's post this weird story on our RSS feed.
Yeah. Well, you know, Nintendo has all the buttons. The create Donkey Kong game button, create bad Metroid button.
Yeah.
No, that's
Kid
not their button.
Icarus.
That's somebody
Yeah,
else's.
that's Team Ninja's button.
Retro has the
Nintendo has
Nintendo button.
Nintendo has the create Julian Michaels fitness button, and they're pressing that way too fucking much.
Dude, they
Retro
also
has
the
the,
create
create
turkey
good
out of
Metroid
yarn button, which so glad they got around to pressing that.
Yeah, that was good. They found the render as yarn button because that's awesome.
Well, what they really found the guys that made Wireland Shake It give them another game button, which was. I'm glad they have something else to do. So I like that game a lot.
Never played that one.
Wait, that was made by Treasure? Oh no, Shake It was a different company.
That was Good Feel, and they're basically the people behind Epic Yarn.
Oh, okay, I got it. I wonder what Treasure is doing now.
After Sin and Punishment?
What was that?
After Sin and Punishment?
I didn't know that they were working on that.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow.
Oh, I wonder if it's any good. They're really hit and miss. They
Wait, it's coming out tomorrow?
Great stuff, and sometimes
Sin and Punishment 2
forgot
comes out tomorrow, yeah.
I forgot about that game. Whoops. Yeah, that would be Sunday for people listening to this,
Yes.
which would probably be today if I get around to editing this quickly enough.
Speaking
If I push
of
those
editing,
buttons
I need to. I do need to get back to work, so I don't know if you guys wanted to wrap it up or.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna move on to E3.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to E3 news. So
Cool.
yeah.
So
So thank you for joining us, Edmund and Tommy. We appreciate talking to you, and we'll work on a banner for the site and put when within the month.
we'll totally pimp you out on the site.
Yeah.
Totally.
We'll press the button. We'll press the promote
Yeah,
me one button.
yeah, the Pimp Super Meat Boy button.
That's a good button.
More places should have that button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IGN should start pressing that button instead of rip Super Meat Boy off button. That would be.
Also, just press the stop eating douches button. God.
You can't spell ignorant without IGN. So that's what I have to say about that.
Oh, we love IGN. We love our IGN guy. It's just IGN high up. They took our comic and they ripped it off. They ripped it off and they gave it out at E3.
Nobody knows about it though. Like nobody really looked at their comic, so.
Yeah, well, their comic was a piece of garbage. Ours was actually good, and people actually wanted me to sign their comic. I don't think anybody was like, Jessica Chobot, will you sign my shitty activity book that your company shit out? And then she's like, and so she gets her mace, and then she sprays the guy with mace, and then the mace clears up his acne. So it's like a blessing in disguise.
All right, well, it's been nice talking to you guys. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to let you guys go now.
And thanks for
Alright.
the history lesson about the 80s.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks to the 80s.
You're lucky to have not been there because they were really bad. But they led into like the greatest 5 years of ever, which is like 91 to 96.
Yeah.
And then it got shitty, and then you guys were born, so sorry.
Well, I was born in '60.
But yeah,
So,
have fun in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
all right, see you
All
guys.
right, take it easy.
See ya.
Alright.
Peace.
Peace. Well, that was entertaining.
That was
entertaining.
That was educational.
It was like that's the longest and greatest interview we've probably ever had,
I don't think we
and
can top that.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So E3 news.
E3. We already talked about it a little bit, but keep going.
Yeah. Metroid Other M.
Sure, good.
I do not want that game anymore.
I still do because I don't know. I like the way it looks, but I haven't played it.
I do kind of agree that because I saw some video off camera of at E3, and the way Samus moves,
That move.
it looks completely ridiculous. It's like
She moves so fast.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool because she looks like she has the speed boots on. But
And someone brought up a point. It's a good contrast to when you have to stop to aim. You're moving so fast when you're not aiming, and you're just dead stopped when you're aiming.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
I don't know. I feel though the flaws of that game are not Team Ninjas. They're not entirely Team Ninjas. Like Sakamoto said straight up, I don't want no nunchuck in this game, and Sakamoto's from Nintendo.
How different do you think Metroid Other M would have been if Retro did it?
I don't think they. It's hard to imagine that 'cause I don't think they would have. I think they're done.
yeah, Retro's
They're-
clearly stated that they're done with Metroid.
Well,
They're going back to
Retro's
the old
freaking out.
country,
Now Donkey Kong Prime.
yeah, I know.
the DK country.
Did
I
you-
think did I send you an email about that, or I think I just sent you a Skype message, but it never went through.
Yeah.
On
So
my
E3,
laptop. So.
is it good?
E3
Well,
was
E3, what?
So
E3 was Nintendo won, right? That's not even a question.
yeah.
Well, there's some people
Microsoft
saying
kinda-
Sony won,
Microsoft
and I'm
kinda
like, you're kidding me.
let their fans-
But-
I will entertain that argument. That's wrong, but I will entertain that. I won't even entertain Microsoft winning.
Oh look, we're waving our hands and we're playing a game.
The only thing that really interested me at Sony,
And I'm jumping,
Only-
and the
the
camera.
only thing that really interested me was maybe Little Big Planet 2 and
Oh, how can
Twisted
Little
Metal.
Big Planet not interest you?
Little Big
Well,
Planet's
it wasn't
interesting.
Little Big Planet. It was Little Big Planet mini games. You know,
Well,
No,
that's
it's
what
really
people
playing. Now you
created.
can make a bunch of other games. Now you can make like whatever kind of like or like a bunch
So
of stuff.
basically, you're getting one game. You're paying the price of one game and getting like all these other games. So it's like
You have
Mario
all
Party.
I know, right? It's like
No, but now you
Wii Sports Resort and Carnival
No,
games, and
You can make like scrolling shooters or like RPGs and racing games and shit. Like that game looks awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Open it up. Yeah.
what game?
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet too. You can
Oh.
make like a whole bunch of other. You can make more than just platformers now, which is like their whole thesis.
I guess
Did
it's
you see
interesting.
that shooter that someone made in the first Little Big Planet?
Right, and now you can do that without having to just be clever.
Yeah.
Don't disparage it. Don't disparage that game.
So we talked about Donkey Kong Country Returns, Metroid Other M.
I'll talk more about it.
Kirby's
It was on
Epic
Jimmy
Yarn.
Fallon last night. Jimmy Fallon and Reggie
Oh,
were
what?
playing it last
Oh,
night.
Reggie played it, and then he.
Yeah, with Jimmy
What?
Fallon.
Oh,
They played for
I had
like
a
2 minutes, and he
feeling
pulled out
so.
3DS. And he pulled out 3DS, and Jimmy Fallon was like, "Whoa, it's like 3D." Ah.
Marley, were you talking about Jimmy Fallon yesterday?
Yeah,
Uh,
I told
yeah.
you.
Oh.
that. I was
What
about
time
to
was?
post the story, but I didn't want to.
Wait,
Jimmy
what,
Fallon,
what
and then
time
Reggie
was?
said
Wait, what time was Jimmy Fallon on?
12:30.
12:30 at night. Oh, didn't.
Yeah, that's when Jimmy Fallon comes on. Late
Never
night
mind.
with Jimmy
Wouldn't have
Fallon.
been able to watch it anyway. I hate late night because I can never watch it.
Why? Were you like 7?
What do you-
I gotta
Saturday.
get my beauty sleep. I bought 100 classic books. I'm trying to read them all.
Why did you buy? Why did you buy that?
Really? They're like all
Because I
public
wanted.
domain.
Well, I didn't even pay for it. My mom did. And I was like, look, it's books.
Oh, your
It's
mom
100
approved of
books.
good games.
It's $20. 100 books. Just pay for it. And she's like,
Or
sure.
100 books free.
Go to your bookstore. Free books.
I didn't want to go to the library or anything like that. I wanted to have it always, forever.
The library.
Generation
it's
Z.
there.
Oh,
You
God.
can't download books to a book. You can only do that
Kindle.
with a
iBooks.
Kindle and an
iPad.
iPad and a Nook and 100 classic books for DS.
Well, the Nook is kind of irrelevant because nothing's coming out for it.
Well, Barnes & Noble announced that you're now going to be able to self-publish for the Nook.
Yeah.
But Kindle's
and how
probably
many
not.
people are publishing on the Nook.
Because self-published books are always so great, too.
Well, Piffman.
Well,
your book
it's
that
like
you
it's like
wrote-
Xbox Live indie games. You really got to look for it, but I'm pretty sure there's some
Because
gems.
it's way harder to write. It's way much more effort to make a game than it is to write a book. Write a book, you just write whatever crap you want and call it a book.
Yeah,
It's like,
I can
HearMii,
never
it's
write a-
book.
I can never write a good intro for anything to write. So I always have I'd have a problem writing a book. But so Mario Sports Mix,
It's like Mario Hoops. It's like Mario Hoops 3-on-3, but with other sports. It's not Square Enix.
Hey, look, these are all the games that we didn't want to package into making a full game, so we're just gonna make these mini games.
That's a great idea.
I know.
It's
better than having 10 sports games.
It is such an efficient
I just think
idea.
they should expand dodgeball into a full
I think it's such an efficient idea.
I don't know. But the
But no,
title is terrible. Mario Sports Mix.
You know what? You know what EA should do?
It's kind of bargain
Have an
bin.
EA Sports Mix. So like just have have Madden, NBA, and FIFA just all packaged into one game every year.
Well, that's
They lose so much money.
Yeah.
They never
would
do
lose
it
so
because they
much
lose money, but they lose money on the deal. But like it would be great for consumers.
Just imagine like all the Madden players that don't like NBA games.
Well, they'd only be paying
all
$60 for it anyway. They'd be paying
Well,
one
then
price.
Then
And
they
they're
would be
losing
losing money because those are $60 games. So yeah.
So
They need to
Golden
do
Sun Dark Dawn.
Sports Mix Jam, and to make jam versions of all sports.
Oh god, yes. Oh,
NBA
I can't wait for
Jam
NBA
looks
Jam.
Me
Oh,
neither.
oh, by the way,
good.
NBA Jam. Does anyone know Peanut Butter Gamer? He's on
I do.
YouTube. Piffman, do you know him?
Nope.
Have you seen his videos?
Nope.
Okay, well, he entered in his catchphrase on NBA Jam Facebook contest, and he won, and his
What was the
catchphrase is
catchphrase,
going to
though?
be in the game.
What was the
What?
catchphrase?
I saw those
Bang-a-lang-a-doodah.
phrases. Which one too?
What is it?
Bang-a-lang-a-doodah.
Dang-a-lang-a-doodah.
No, I like
Bang-a-lang.
Boom Goes the Dynamite.
Boom goes the dynamite.
And Boom Goes the
But
Dynamite.
his catchphrase is going to be in the game, and his name is going to be in the credits.
There's like a lot of like good catchphrases from that game. Like even some new ones. Like they're pretty good. So
Yeah,
Golden Sun
NBA Jam's
Dark
my jam.
Dawn.
How many
NBA.
people at that press conference actually enjoyed saying Golden Sun?
I have
I
no
don't
idea.
care about Golden Sun, but a lot of other people do. So
I never played a Golden Sun game, so
They're really good
I don't
RPGs,
really know what to
apparently.
expect.
they're really
looks like
good
a
like
Zelda
JRPGs.
game. Looks like
They're
a
like
Zelda game,
JRPGs.
but it's an RPG.
Yeah. They're
There
really
were a lot of
good.
people
I just don't care.
And apparently all they cared about was Golden Sun. I'm like, dude, there's an entire press conference of games, and all you cared about was Golden Sun, a game that I've never heard of. Whatever. That's your
fault.
prerogative.
Well,
It's your
we,
prerogative.
that's-
we also skipped over Zelda Skyward Sword,
Hold on, it's coming up.
but we skipped over it.
It's coming up. I'm at HearMii.com.
Oh, okay.
Going through the list backwards.
backwards in time.
Yeah.
Dude,
In
I don't
order
blame
to-
anyone for caring about Golden Sun because Golden Sun games are very good. They're very good, and they've been waiting for a long time for another one. Like if they announced new Earthbound, there'd be people there that would
Oh
want
my
to rip
God.
that. I wouldn't.
New
Or if they
Earthbound,
just announced Mother 3.
finally.
How
That'd
many
be
people
good too.
wanting that?
Yeah.
So, GoldenEye 007 for Wii.
I don't.
Game's gonna be terrible.
I think they only made like
Terrible.
one change. They made like one change to a map, and that was damn. I think.
The fact
I think
that it's
that's what.
GoldenEye, does not automatically guarantee it will be good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it automatically guarantees it'll be bad either. I think it'll just whether it's good or bad has nothing to do with the fact that it's GoldenEye.
I think
Remember that
Don't-
EA
wasn't-
GoldenEye game that the EA tried to
Yeah, but
make
that was-
after?
that wasn't a
wasn't-
DS though. That doesn't really count. That was like that was more like a sequel really, but this is like a remake or a port.
It's the same name.
They
That's
say
what they're
it's not
doing
a
here.
remake. So because it has
But,
different
um,
Reagan.
It's not the level design that makes GoldenEye so good. Like that doesn't. It's the fact that it was a shooter on consoles in 1997 that worked.
Yeah, I think people. I think this is how the reviews are going to go down. The people who played the original GoldenEye are going to give us like amazing reviews and all this, and then
15
people
I don't
who
think
never played it, and then people who never
I don't
played it are
think
going to
so.
be like 7, 6.
I don't think the
6.5.
nostalgia. The nostalgia for GoldenEye isn't based on like it has almost nothing to do with the game.
I know.
I don't know. I just feel like the game. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird thing.
Well, yeah, I
think
just think
people are gonna be
the
like-
reviewers who've never played GoldenEye are going to give this game like average scores, and then people who played it are gonna give it like 9s and 10s.
But
and
it's not the
Like,
same
probably
thing.
The opposite, because
But it's like not even the same.
Or
It's
maybe
like
the
not even the
opposite.
same game. It's not the same game. It's just like the same name and like the same inspiration. It's not the
if this
same game.
wasn't called GoldenEye, no one would care about it. That's what I have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, okay.
So, yeah. I just think Rare should just stop making
Well, it's
weird
not Rare.
games for Microsoft
But it's not
that
Rare.
are not stylish.
But it's not Rare though. It's Eurocom. It's the
I know,
Dead Space. It's the Dead Space Extraction people, which gives me hope.
Yeah. But I just think Rare should just stop. Like,
Oh, by the way,
working with
Pippin, what do you think
Microsoft.
about what do you think about Dead Space Extraction getting ported to the PlayStation Move?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's
Get
about
more
right.
people to play that game because that game's kind
Yeah.
of good. I actually came around on that game.
I was kind of disappointed that they announced it like not even a year after. I thought that maybe they would at least wait a year,
It
but
sold like
I guess when it
less
releases,
than
it'll be.
10,000 on Wii. So
I mean, it won't come out. Till
I
like,
bought
it
a
won't come out
copy,
till
you know?
2011. It
I
won't be
bought a
out till
copy.
2011.
All right, all right, okay. I guess that's fine. But like, I bought a copy. I went to GameStop. I had to walk home like 10 miles from GameStop after buying the copy.
What do you
Yeah.
pay
you
Arnold's
sound like
grandpa?
an old man. Like, I had to walk 10 miles in the snow.
I was 16.
to
I
get
didn't
my
have a car.
games.
Wait, yeah, I was 16. I didn't have a car, so I had to walk home, and I had to walk like right on the side of the highway. So, yeah,
I had to walk 18
But,
miles in the snow to get
it
the
took me an
latest
hour to get.
NES game called The Legend of Zelda.
It was my friend's birthday. It took me an hour to get home, and I didn't even get to play it until later that night because I went to his
That's
house. Birthday
Not
party.
relevant at all.
I know, but still. Anyway,
Don't tell me your
Okay,
personal life.
speaking of,
Kid Icarus Uprising.
It looks like State of Punishment, sort of. Like some of those where you're like flying around shooting things.
Yeah.
I love
It
that
looks
trailer
really-
because I love it when Kid Icarus flies down and says, "Sorry to keep you waiting." Like,
I know.
it's like
It-
It
just
sounded
like,
like
we were
like
making this game all this time. Stop telling us.
it
Should
sounded
have been like,
like
hell, it's about time.
remember
StarCraft
the-
2 versus Kid Icarus.
remember the trailer for Super Smash Bros. Brawl when Snake was announced? He was like, "Catch you waiting, huh?" It reminded me of that, or something, something similar to
I
that.
don't know. It looks cool.
It looks
Except it's
neat,
on the
yeah.
3DS.
Sakurai's doing
I'm
it.
not buying it. So.
Wait, what?
But like
It's on
it looks
3DS
really
and
good.
I'm not
And
buying it.
Why
I
not?
noticed that
Because
Nintendo,
it's on 3DS, and I hate 3D.
So,
you could
Oh, it
turn.
works,
Marley, there's a slider for the 3D. You just turn it all the way down, and you don't have to worry about 3D
Oh, I
ever
can turn
again.
off
And
your
then it's
stupid
just a-
gimmick that sells your system. Way to
whatever,
go.
dude. I hate 3D, but I'm so hyped on 3DS.
Yeah, I
It's
hate 3D
inoffensive.
too,
It's
but like
3D
I
that's
really
inoffensive.
I want to at least try it.
It's 3D that's totally unoffensive. Inoffensive. Whatever.
I
Like
don't know.
the thing that really drives me away from 3D is the glasses. But if there's no glasses,
Yeah.
there,
There's the
totally.
glasses and having to buy a stupid, expensive TV.
I know.
I find it really funny that Sony tried to say, you can buy... 3D will work on our console, but you have to...
Buy a $2,000 TV and $150
$3,000
glasses for each person who wants to watch it.
Exactly.
Why do the glasses cost $100?
Because they're
I don't know.
special. They're shutter glasses, and they move. They close and open a whole bunch to help the 3D happen.
Hmm.
There's
Oh,
pieces in there.
there's things flying at me. Oh my god!
Dude, again, that's
Um,
neat. As long as again, it's just inoffensive. Like 3DS, and then you turn the 3D off, that's just a more powerful DS with an analog stick. It's badass.
It's more power. It's as powerful as a GameCube with advanced shaders and lighting effects from the 360 and the PS3. Like Nintendo has
I
no
still feel
experience, so you
that-
don't see this in Kid Icarus. But like it's built into the GPU. They're fixed functions.
I don't agree that that game looks like a Wii game though. Kid Icarus.
It does. It
looks like
looks
that.
more like a GameCube game, but like it has
Yeah.
some real. But
Looks like
the
a
thing could
PSP
put out
game.
some amazing lighting, but Nintendo has no experience in using it, so that's why you don't see it in Kid Icarus. But you'll see it in the Metroid, or not the Metroid, the
Resident Evil.
Metal Gear Solid and the Resident Evil game. Booch by way look amazing.
Just compare Pitt's model in both of those. Just compare Pitt's model in that game to Pitt's model in Smash Brothers, and like it's totally tough.
Pitt, especially the hair.
Yeah,
like
it looks fine. It looks great, but yeah,
it looks good. But there's less polygons. There's definitely less polygons.
Well, I find it kind of.
But who knows?
Funny, and I feel sorry.
Kid Icarus Uprising doesn't have a release, so they're probably still they are still working on it, and they made
like
this
March.
in 6 months.
It'll be like March 2011. That's next year.
Yeah.
Well, don't you find it
they
funny?
formed the team. They formed the team to make this game in January, and they showed this off in June.
January 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'll shut up now.
Well, don't you guys find it funny and you kind of feel sorry for Sony because they've been trying so hard to make like the PSP relevant? Like you can have console gaming in your hand, and then Nintendo comes out with the 3DS and it's like console gaming in your hand, and everyone likes it.
know.
And then Sony's over here with the PSP Go, and they're like, sad face.
You know what though? They did better than the Game Gear and like Neo Geo Pocket, so there's that.
Yeah.
Like they're by far the most relevant non-Nintendo handheld that's ever existed.
True, but I feel kind of sorry for him because no one kind of likes the PSP.
And what's with that new kid in the advertising for the PSP?
Oh, that kid's awesome.
What's like? I love the now there's like a universe of PSP PlayStation marketing people. They all exist in the same canon.
Kevin Butler's not even a real person, but they had him at E3.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They
just
do like him like he was a real person.
Forget what was it?
Yeah, they do like an MMO, World of Sony marketing people. You'd be like a Kevin Butler
Kevin
class.
Butler the game.
I'd buy that.
Kevin Butler the movie, the game.
I'd buy
Directed by Jerry Bruckheimer.
He's the actor for Kevin Butler is Jerry Lambert, who no one really knows him. Apparently, he's done commercials for Geico and Holiday Inn.
Mark is like a little kid from Role Models. He's like I've seen him in things.
Yeah.
And he was the voice actor on the Boondocks.
I hated it.
So anyway, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
I think it was
I feel sorry for Miyamoto.
I know, and all these assholes think the game doesn't work now. I'm like, no, you assholes, it does.
The Giant Bomb actually said that the controls work perfectly, but
everyone that's playing it says the controls work perfectly. It's just people that just saw the press conference like, oh, it doesn't work. Boo.
Yeah. I like the joke for Apple.
It's like you know, it's like assuming, oh, iPhone 4 doesn't load anything, so I'm not even gonna bother buying that. It doesn't load web pages. If it didn't work,
I think what they set out to do with that demo. I think what they set out to do with that demo was to show the controls and that they worked. Not to show off anything about like what the levels are going to be like or like puzzles. They just show off the controls, and that's fine. Like even though I still feel the art style isn't all the way thought out yet.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty sure the problems with
when they're doing the developer roundtable, I read that Aonuma and Miyamoto said that they were kind of they were pushed into doing that art style.
Yeah, it's not all the way there.
So,
but
and it'll get there. It's not coming out until next year now. So
I think it's a possibility that
no, Piffman, it's going to be delayed until Wii 3D.
Is this on?
Yes.
Sorry.
What?
I'm just making sure because you keep talking over me. I'm trying to talk. And, all right, but I don't mean it, Pastor. But like, I think it's a possibility that the Wii remote is catching some other sort of infrared reference, or the Wii Motion Plus wasn't calibrated right, and that's probably what all the problems.
We Motion Plus uses the sensor bar to aid in the
yeah. So I'm guessing that there was probably some sort of light, like a bright light interference, and
it comes to that.
Just recalibrated itself by accident, and they didn't mean to, and that's probably all the problems that came out.
No,
I also noticed that there was there's a noticeable lag because first it goes to the Miyamoto, they're like there's TV that they're looking at, and then that's projected up, and you could tell that there's a lag between what Miyamoto's seeing and what you're seeing up on the big screen.
No, I'm fine. I'm not worried about it. The only thing I'm worried about is the art style. I just want them to get. I just want them to get.
I thought it was funny how when Link grabs his sword, it's just like there's isn't really an animation of grabbing. It's just
Has it out.
there. Just
Yeah.
like he just grabs it with like a ninja grip.
And then the way he holds it, he holds it the way the person is holding it in real life.
Yeah,
So
to
he's-
show the range.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, but yeah, what do you guys think about the way it looks though?
I
Looks
think
pretty
it looks
good.
kind of lazy.
It
I
Like,
think it's not all the way.
I guess you're not pushing that button hard enough.
Yeah.
I just
We're gonna be
I just want-
referencing that forever. Thank you, Edmund and Tommy.
Yeah.
I mean, like Twilight Princess. When they first showed that off, like the Twilight Realm was all just kind of gray and boring looking, and then they redid it all with the cool kind of like hazy nonsense.
Not to mention that they
And,
were
you know,
still
like, I just feel-
limitation of the GameCube.
I just feel it's not all the way there yet, and I think it'll get there. And then, because they've been talking, like, even the way they've been talking about it sounds like they're not entirely sure about what they're doing with art style, and they're working on it. And it sounds like that's what they're working on the most now. Because they said, like, you know, the content of the game is almost, like, done.
I don't know. I like the game. I can't wait for it. But the one thing that probably unsold me on it was the aiming with the bow and arrow. Like, I don't want to hold the Wii remote like a...
Well, it's just like in Wii Sports Resort.
But that's because it's a Wii Sports Resort and it's a mini game. I don't have to do it throughout the whole game.
I mean, how often do you have to do it in Zelda? I just played through Twilight
And
Princess like 3 months ago,
Twilight
and, like,
Princess, it was pretty... You used it a lot.
I mean, I used the bow and arrow a lot because I like using the bow and arrow. You know, I mean, archery's like one of my favorite things in Wii Sports Resorts. It's, you know,
I don't know. I just think they'll just get really annoying. You have to use it every single time.
right?
And something you probably couldn't do while sitting down. So I don't know, but it still looks good. And I can't
jumping
wait
off
for
shit.
it.
That's what's
So
next. Present it.
up next there was a list of games released by Nintendo to the press, and I'm just gonna go down this list of the big titles I know. So there's DJ Hero 3D.
There's no turntable. No turntable, so no sale. Sorry.
Oh, well. It's alright, DJ Hero 2 is coming out, so. Oh,
Assy, can I talk about DJ Hero 2? You know, the thing that I posted
yeah.
later?
Go ahead.
Well,
No,
go ahead.
No, okay. Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, and Devil Survivor, and the other one. There's Resident Evil Revelations, which there's a trailer of now. Then there's Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, named not final. Then they're going to have FIFA Soccer, Madden NFL, and The Sims 3.
Sims 3D. How much do you want to bet next to me?
Oh. Harmonix, it just says music games. It doesn't even have a title.
Dance Central.
It's like Scary Movie. It's music game. There's not two game.
It's like
Yeah.
Dance Central. You use the
Hudson's
camera.
doing a Bomberman, a Deca Sports game, and a
Oh, it's Hudson.
Grandpa game.
Stupid B.
I don't know. Stupid B. Konami, there's baseball franchise. Contra, Frogger, Metal Gear Solid, the Naked Sample, which is what people. It's like it's not pre-rendered. It's rendered natively on the 3DS, and you can move the camera and it really shows off the 3D effect. And then there's the Pro Evolution Soccer / Winning 11, which is the same franchise. Then there's Professor Layton and the Mask of Miracles.
Oh my god.
Layton.
Oh my god.
Then,
I hate 3D, but how awesome would that game be in 3D? That game
Then
would be amazing.
Majesco.
Speaking of Professor Layton, did the movie ever come out yet?
In
like
in
Europe
Japan,
or
I think. It
something.
came out. Yeah, I
I
think
think
it's
it's
coming
came
out.
out like Europe too.
Because I want to get that movie.
It might
and
be on DVD in America, like either
Dude, they
now.
do like a double feature of that and the Animal Crossing movie, showing how like brown houses.
There's an Animal Crossing movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like an Animal Crossing anime.
What?
I want.
Oh wait, no,
There's an
I think
anime of
I think.
forever.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just forgot about that.
I just want to get the
But,
Japanese version of Professor Layton the movie because I want to know what Layton actually sounds like in Japanese.
So now we need Professor Layton in the movie, the game.
Let's go to YouTube. And I think he talks in the trailer. But Majesco's putting out Blood Rain: The Shroud, A Boy in His
Blood
Blob.
Rain.
Boy
What?
in his blob. Boy in his blob.
Martha Stewart. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Martha Stewart, you're on house arrest, and it uses the camera on the 3DS to make sure that you're at home. And if you leave outside, the 3DS talks back and says,
And Marvelous
This is
working-
boring. I want to talk about Epic Mickey.
Wait, hold on.
Epic,
Marvelous
Disney
is working
Epic Mickey?
on this
Which is
game.
Yeah, Disney Epic.
I
I'm
have
sorry,
no idea how to
Disney Epic
pronounce it.
Disney.
Yeah.
As Reggie used to be believed.
But Marvelous is working on this game. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm just gonna try. Bokujio Monogatari 3D. Name not final. I hope not. Dragon Ball, Gundam, Pac-Man, Galaga, Ridge Racer,
don't
Animal
care.
Crossing,
Racer. It's Ridge
Animal
Racer.
Crossing, Kid Icarus Uprising, Mario Kart, Nintendogs plus cats.
Plus cats. Plus snails.
I never played the original Nintendogs.
Me neither.
How is it?
I want to get it
It's
now.
all
It
right.
has
So like,
cats.
it's all right. I have it.
Paper
Oh,
Mario, Pilot Wings Resort, Star Fox 64
Finally,
3D.
a Pilot Wings game.
I know. Sega's working on a Sonic and Super Monkey Ball game. Square Enix is doing Codename Chocobo Racing 3D. Dragon Quest,
Codename.
Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. Take-Two is doing Carnival games. Oh god. There's going to be Dead or Alive 3D, Ninja Gaiden. Lovely Lisa 3D. The fuck is that? Naruto Shippuden Action.
The sequel to Milo.
The Blob 2. Kung Fu Panda Kaboom of Doom.
Charlie Kaufman's
Assassin's
writing that movie, or he's helping write that movie.
Who?
What?
Who's helping write the movie?
Piffin went out of service.
Damn.
What?
Damn.
AT&T
Oh,
cut his connection.
Piffin.
Wait, what?
What
Yeah,
was
here
it
you
about
go.
Kung Fu
Oh, you go.
Charlie Kaufman's helping to write that movie. Like what?
Panda? Oh. And then there's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Okay.
So then,
I think
like,
we've heard enough of these games.
Like,
So yeah, there's
alright.
a lot of games
So-
on 3DS.
Oh, one thing that I think it was either Wada or Reggie was talking about was that the 3DS will be constantly connected to the internet. And it'll be able to download like content even when you're not.
That was the
like,
Wii. How often does that happen? We Connect 24?
No, I think it's a lot more than Wii Connect 24.
Yeah, but they were
We
saying the
Connect
same shit when they
48.
talked about that. They were saying the same shit though, like when that came out. I'm like, whatever.
I
maybe,
haven't
but
seen my Wii glow
hoping
blue
it's
in a while.
at least a little more because they said that you'll be able to download content even if you don't have the game.
That's not about. Whatever.
So NBA
they
Jam
do-
game footage.
He's on fire.
What?
From downtown.
Maybe
NBA
Jam.
Jam looks really good.
It does.
My friend has a PS3, and I told him like, "Yo, NBA Jam is gonna be remade for the Wii." He's like, "I'm so jealous of you right now."
I wonder
But
if it's
any-
gonna be online because my favorite memories of playing NBA Jam is just like on the couch, like playing NBA Jam with my friends on
Well,
the couch.
there's no online virtual couch as far as I know.
Virtual Couch coming soon from the makers of Virtual Fighter comes Virtual Couch.
From the makers of Super
Well,
Meat Boy comes Super.
That's Bungie's marketing Halo Reach to be like an experience that you would have on your couch but online. I don't know about that, but
Halo Reach.
yeah. Anyway,
With a bullet.
Def Jam Rapstar. I'm quite interested in this game.
You know what I'm more interested in? Epic Mickey. Let's talk about that game.
Yes.
All right, fine.
Fiffman, thank you for that segue. Or Craigway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Craigway.
Piffway.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. They brought that game around. Those first screenshots look like garbage, but they turned it around.
I know, it looks so good now.
I
want that
can't
game
believe
so
that
much.
there's a Steamboat Willie. Like
Ah, the Steamboat Willie level looks so good.
I know.
Yeah, like, but that game had so much going for it, and then those screenshots were like, oh my god, like, But now, it's like, yeah.
It's almost as if they did it on purpose, just to like make it seem all that much better.
Well, I mean, there was a year. They still had a year left of development to go,
Yeah.
and they still have like 6 months left. So it should look better by the time it comes out. So like,
So I'm gonna get that.
I'm so hyped for that game. I'm so hyped for that
Gonna be
game.
amazing. And
Warren
plus,
Spector's one of the coolest.
yeah.
Warren Spector's one of the coolest people I've ever seen like talk about games.
And like
yeah,
like
Warren
people
Spector
talk about like
can rock a sweater vest like no one
Deus
else.
Ex 3 got announced to E3. Right?
But he's not making it.
What?
I know. Like people are like, oh yeah, Deus Ex, but like Warren Spector's not making Deus Ex 3. He's working on
His
Epic
team
Mickey.
No.
is. His team is one of his teams.
Yeah, one person does not make a game.
Yeah, it's
Well, exactly. Which we
I guess that just comes around to the question of how much does Miyamoto even put into games nowadays anymore?
Exactly.
He has
Like,
input. He has input. So like this
I mean,
game doesn't have enough puppies in him. So put more puppies.
Like he did give that input to Retro about the visor system. Like imagine Samus
have-
taking off her head and putting on another head.
Imagine
They were
Samus
like-
with
Right.
a bug on her head. With a bug head.
yeah, it's like, here's an idea. Now you guys go make it. And then like, we're a group of talented programmers. We can totally do that because
it's like-
games are a team effort.
It's like Miyamoto is like the guy making Proverbs, and the developers working on the game are the ones trying to figure out what he actually means by it. Like they're trying to decipher.
Okay, as fun as it is, can we please stop like deifying both him and Reggie?
Yes.
Can we please stop doing this?
Yes.
All right.
So what's next? Talked about Epic Mickey. That's
Resident
gonna be
Evil.
good. I mean Disney, Epic Disney.
Epic.
Disney Epic Disney coming soon from Disney.
That's the worst name for a game. Disney Epic Mickey.
Where
Disney
we
just
call-
wanted
they
more
always-
branding.
It might be.
I mean, they always call it like Disney, Pixar, Toy Story 3. Like they just what does Epic Mickey?
Disney Epic Mickey Kingdom Hearts 4.
Disney Square Enix Kingdom Hearts recoded. Dude, they need to do Kingdom Hearts : Pixar. It's just all Pixar.
Oh yes.
I'd buy that. Woody's the main character carrying around the key sword thing.
Yeah, well, the
Souls.
key lamp. It's Luxo. You play as Luxo.
Yes.
Soul.
Luxo's day out.
What's coming? What's next?
Well,
3DS
apparently Shakespeare's gonna go into the future to the 3DS and go back and invent the word awesome.
I think we also could. We've been going on for a while. We probably go into like. Do we have questions? No.
Oh, did you notice that YouTube put a Vuvuzela button?
Oh, the soccer horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Dude, loud and proud. Yes.
Yeah,
That way people
I
get
think-
live and stop watching soccer.
I think there was a guy in Germany who got arrested for like threatening his neighbors. But the Vuvuzela.
Well, United States lost today,
Yeah.
but no one really watches soccer. They listen.
Exactly.
I don't know. I watch soccer sometimes. It's interesting.
I mean, it's not any dumber than any other sport, so yeah. What is that?
It's no dumber than golf.
Exactly.
Oh look, I'm hitting this white ball around, and then I'm gonna walk to it. And then maybe someday it'll go into this little white cup.
But that's not this day.
Yeah. If you're Tiger Woods.
Right.
Tiger
All right,
Woods
so what else? Like what we're playing or something? How does this show work?
Yeah, I guess we could do what we're playing.
Oh, did we talk about 3DS videos? That awesome video that
Do we
Nintendo
really have
made?
to?
Oh,
We're
the
2
meaningless
hours
just
in.
awesome videos that
Bowser?
We're 2
were
hours
completely
in.
meaningless. That serve literally no point.
Yes. Reggie's like, well, we're gonna try and explain this. So
That
let's see
video
how
was
this
funny, though.
goes. I just love Reggie's laugh now. He's just Alright, so what we're playing?
All right, who's going first?
Piffin, you've been on the site the longest, so you go first.
All right. Well, this is what we've been playing since the last podcast. So what is it?
Sure.
Oh, I beat like 3 games. So I beat like what was that podcast?
Like 3 months ago, but we actually recorded like 5 more, but Assy refused.
Should I just do everything I played in the year 2010?
Yes.
Oh,
mean
well, I
2010?
beat No More Heroes 2, and I played a bunch of tests over with Capcom, and I beat the Skycrawlers, and I beat Red Steel 2. The game's pretty good. And I got all 240 stars in Mario Galaxy 2, and I watched a bunch of Netflix on my Netflix disc,
Oh, nice.
and now I'm playing a bunch of Monster Hunter.
So, yeah. So how's that Netflix disc? Does it work?
It's awesome.
Is it like?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have any of the other consoles, right?
No.
Well, because I have the Xbox 360 on Netflix, and it's rather slow, and it takes a
Right,
while.
but you don't have to use a disc though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
And you're streaming in HD, right, or higher quality at least.
well, Reggie made a good
Well,
point.
you
Reggie
have
made
a
a good point. Like with Netflix, there's like most of the content on Netflix streaming isn't in HD. So,
Right.
but whatever the Xbox 360
It's not like it
is
matters.
doing,
It's not like it matters for you, Marlon, anyway, because you have DSL, so you're not
You
going to
have
be able to
DSL
download
too,
HD
so-
anyway.
so shut up.
You wouldn't be able to
And
get HD
my
anyway.
IP address doesn't migrate every day.
Mine doesn't do it
Oh,
every
I guess this isn't something I'm playing, but I wrote a script for the Bison movie and changed all the names, and I wrote another script. So now I
Well,
just 2 scripts lying around, and I'm gonna just...
Piffin, do you want my number? Because we can like get that movie made. I know someone. I
Let's do
know a
this.
great cinematographer, and we.
Dude, let's do this!
Yes, let's do it.
Are you talking about the M.
it.
Bison movie?
Yes.
No, it's not, because the Bison's actually a play.
Play.
It's actually a play. And the other one's like a slasher movie.
What
You
is
should
it?
make it a musical.
What is it? An
No, I...
What did the
No, I mean, I-
debut in Oregon? Ashland, Oregon.
No, that, and then the other one's just like a slasher movie.
And no, you should make it a musical. M. Bison's Revelation in B minor.
And Bison's... I can't think of a pun in time. The
M.
sound
Bison.
of Bison. The hills are alive with the sound of M. Bison.
So have you guys talked about what you've been playing?
Well, Piffin just finished.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go next.
Sure.
All right.
I haven't really been playing all that much because I've been like busy with school and I made a movie called Snownado. Greatest
Oh
movie
yeah, I
ever
played the
made.
graduate from school game. That's kind of fun.
Developed by Ubisoft.
Yes.
Coming soon to
Let's
iPhone
get the hell-
called I Graduate.
Let's get the hell out of my house. The game.
Yeah. But go watch Snownado. It's on the site. It's amazing.
You're gonna have to dig through some news posts, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
we'll
been
just search.
very...
Is there a search feature on the site? I can't.
Yeah, there's a search feature.
We'll just search Snownado.
Just search for either Marley or Snownado. I'm gonna check Snownado, see if it
amazing.
works.
It's amazing. But I did actually find The World Ends With You, and I've been playing that. And,
Yeah, Snownado. If you just search Snownado, it's the very first thing.
And The World Ends With You is like the most amazing DS game I've ever played.
You and Ida Fryer need to team up and have a World Ends with You cast.
Yes. Yes. The spin-off
Ida
cast
Fryer
on
gets
HearMii. God,
The
that
World
game is
Ends with
so
this
good.
podcast.
The only gripe I have against it is that the music loops too much. Like you hear too much of the same song. But
It's a metaphor, dude,
I'll
for our repentant society. Shibuya.
But The World's Ends With You is the most greatest game ever made. And I've been playing NBA 2K10 basketball. And I've been playing Braid, finishing that up.
You find that game as pretentious as I do? Like, if the game is good, but all the narrative stuff, I was like, give me a fucking break.
Same. I agree.
Oh,
I thought it was a little pretentious, but I guess story-wise, it was all right for a story. I mean,
I just realized I don't care at all about story in games. If it's good, that's great, and it makes the game better. But if it's bad and the gameplay is good, I don't care.
But
That's fine.
That's good in Braid that they made you skip it.
yeah, you could
Yeah.
just
don't even
run past
have
all
to
the books.
read
Yeah,
those books.
That's
I just
one of
hate
the
when
things
people-
you was talking about.
I hate when people think that story in games really matters, because it really doesn't.
So,
So is that it, Marley?
been playing Professor Layton.
Oh,
Uh,
which one?
the first one.
The Curious Village.
Yeah.
All right.
That game is cool, but weird. Because this little boy is just following around this guy, solving puzzles all day.
Layton!
Oh, Layton, I love you so much.
Oh, Layton!
That's the
You
first.
do Layton's cast. Oh, actually, what have you been playing?
I've actually never played a Professor Layton game, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. I'm really sorry.
Oh, and I also played some Xbox Live indie games. I made a game with zombies in it.
Did you pay for it, or did you just play the
I
trial?
just played the trial, but I
Okay.
still played it.
Okay.
It's called What We're Playing, not what I...
Paid for.
What I paid for. The video game what I paid for.
This ain't no
Well, go
paid
on.
for. I mean,
Go on.
but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, my turn. So I've been playing Halo 3 ODST. Bought it, and it was pretty good. I played the Halo Reach beta, and I got my free Avatar hoodie shirt thing that said I beta
Question.
tested it.
Ashley, question. Did you just buy Halo ODST just to get the Halo Reach beta?
Half and half.
What is it, Crackdown? God.
Yes. Crackdown 2 looks amazing, by the way. And I think
I played the
first
demo to
Crackdown.
Crackdown 2.
I think
By the way,
first-
if you play the Crackdown 2 demo and you get some achievements, they'll unlock. But you have to play the demo online, and you have to get the game, and you have to play that online, and they'll unlock for you.
I think the first Crackdown could stand up on its own, but they had to put it.
It totally could.
They had to put it
First
with
Crackdown's a
Halo
fun-
3. They had to put it with Halo 3, and now all the Halo 3 fanboys love that game, and now I kind of hate that game just because that game is smothered with just Halo fanboys.
Well,
And
What else I bought or played? Well, I bought from Marley because you were selling them on eBay, and I was like, totally buy these games. I bought Gears of War, and I played that. I bought Dead Space, and I played that. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, I played it. I found the gameplay, it's kind of bad, but I just played it, whatever. The story was a little interesting, so that's what really kept me playing. And
The team behind
go
the team behind Mushroom Men and the Wii version of Ghostbusters are doing Force Unleashed 2 for Wii.
oh,
That could be
well,
interesting.
I got
What was
Force Unleashed for
Mushroom Man?
360.
Mushroom Men is
review it?
alright.
Did you review
It's
it?
like a 7.
Yeah, you
I did review that game.
don't you remember Pippin reviewed it? Four games, one cup.
Yeah, I did review that game. It's like a 7. It's not as good as Deadly Creatures.
Oh. Where is Deadly Creatures 2? I know that game didn't sell very well, but I wanted Deadly
I
Creatures
looked up
2.
Rainbow Studios. They took Rainbow Studios and dissolved them and mixed them with some other dev to make just like that just all they do is ATV games now. And like downloadable games.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear about?
Why?
I believe it was Dennis Hopper died.
Yeah.
Was it Dennis? Yeah.
He will
Yes.
be remembered in Deadly Creatures and Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, not Easy Rider or all these amazing real movies he did.
He will always be remembered
But
as Bowser.
I also bought BioShock used at GameStop because
Bioshock Used is my favorite Bioshock
it was
game.
it was a limited edition for BioShock, and it was like $20, or it was less than $20, and it was $20 on Games on Demand. So I was like, fuck it, why don't I just buy it now? Get the disc, just have that forever. And I also got Wii Sports Resort that same day, and I got
game's
a second
amazing.
one. I know it really is.
Strangely
Like
enough, it is amazing.
it's incredibly addictive. My favorite thing has to be swordplay though. Like
I like
really love.
I like basketball.
Basketball's great. Swordplay is great.
I don't like the 3-on-3. 3-on-3.
3-on-3 was fun.
I didn't like
Ping-pong
it.
is great.
I didn't like
Ping pong is great.
Yeah, ping pong's great. Yeah.
Jet skiing is terrible.
I haven't tried jet skiing yet, actually. I haven't bothered with it.
And the
there's a new
bicycle
rave. Well,
one is terrible.
I haven't done bicycling either.
There's your new wave
Like,
race. So yeah.
The airplane one, like that one was great. Like, and the dogfight, like that was pretty good. And I also bought the sky crawlers and it's the Aces.
It was pretty good.
Funny. Did you play sky crawlers?
I beat it.
Oh, well, it was funny because there's like three different prices on this. Like, it was at GameStop, and there's like 3 different prices on the case. The first one it said was $29.99, now $19.99, and then there's another sticker above it that says $9.98 new. I'm like, that's pretty sad. It didn't sell that well.
No, it didn't. But
I bought it, and it has a reversible cover. I mean, that's pretty cool. So you can have your game look like the Japanese version if you so want.
If you're one of those people.
Yeah. If you want your game to look like the Japanese version.
That game's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. I played through the first level in the tutorial. I didn't get back to it because I bought Wii Sports Resort and BioShock and
just don't play it with the motion controls. Just play it with the
I've been playing with motion controls, yeah.
Oh,
I've
stop.
doing the nunchuck one.
Oh, you should stop. Because it makes it way better when you stop.
It's pretty hard to control. Like it's
yeah.
What game is this?
Skycrawler is Ace. It's like a Ace Combat kind of game. It's from the Ace Combat team.
Is that the anime one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one I told you about that I got, and you were like, "You bought that?" I was like, "Yeah, because one I told you." But yeah.
I don't like anime, so.
Pippin,
Yeah,
did you ever? Pippin, did you notice that in the menu that they like messed up and they put a screenshot from the Wii Dev Kit where it has like
you're
Wii
right.
Menu 1 installer
Yeah.
and disk check v1.1.
It's like, dude, we don't care.
That's like.
This is what you get for buying our game. You get to see the secrets.
I like.
Whatever. That game's neat, though.
At first, I thought it was like that they like hacked the Wii, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, it's just the dev kit, but it was pretty fun. I like.
I had my first real experience with the Homebrew channel a couple weeks ago at a party. I'm like, fuck those people. My God. Like, the people that are all into hacking brawl, I cannot stand those people. I can't stand that whole community.
Well, I forgot about 2 more games that I did play. I busted out Metroid Prime Trilogy, and I ran through Metroid Prime 2, and I beat it. And Metroid Prime 2 is probably the most underrated game of the Metroid Prime franchise.
It was neat. I played through all of them. That was the last one I played. That game is neat.
I love that game.
I don't know.
It's amazing. I think I like it more than Metroid Prime 3.
No.
But just Metroid Prime 3 had that stupid backtracking. Like, it was like an all epic, even though I hate using the word epic.
All 3 of them have stupid backtracking. Like,
well, Metroid Prime 3 was just the worst because it was like going all fast.
If you do it, if you know what the backtracking is in mind, and you just get them along the way, you can just avoid all that, which is what I did.
Oh, well, I didn't. So it was kind of ruined the game.
It is kind of schematic, but yeah, I don't know. Metroid Prime 3 is just so much bigger in scope than the other 2. The other one just looks better. I don't know. And all the stuff with the ship is really cool. Like, that's the thing I hated, not being able to like warp around, like having to go to other places, like not just be able to call my ship and just fly away.
Yeah. I also played Resident Evil 5 again, and expect something.
You can't get that kill those black people, can you?
Something written up about Resident Evil 5 on HearMii.
Oh, by the way, we're doing multi-platform now.
But expect something written up because I want to rant on something about Resident Evil 5. So.
You can't get enough.
Oh, by the way,
Black Book anymore.
listeners, we've totally gone multi-platform. By the way, just so you know.
We're now on.
We're bored. We're sluts.
No, we're now on Zoom.
We pushed the button.
Yeah.
Push the button to go
Zoom button.
multi-platform.
But what else I've been playing? I played Fallout 3 a little. I got the Mothership
Why do you play that
Zeta
game?
DLC. Because I love the Fallout 3 universe. I love the Fallout
It's so
universe. I can't wait for
boring.
Fallout New Vegas. That trailer is like so good, and like that music, like no one knows the song it is, but it's so good anyway. It's so, oh man, I've been playing Explosion Man.
Oh, that game's great.
It's okay, but like those levels are so annoying, and dying that game really sucks because like,
like
there aren't
Sonic.
enough. I don't think there's enough checkpoints in the game. I think that's the major flaw. There's not enough checkpoints.
True.
And I played Braid. I beat it. Like I got every single puzzle piece, and I did the last thing. And
Spoilers.
it was great. Like the experience wise, the music was amazing. It's just so good. Like I was not expecting that when I bought Braid, and I'm so glad I especially bought it for only $10 because it was on sale. But like, man, it was so good. I would have paid the full 15. And
I paid the
also,
full 15, so suck it.
well, I only paid
But
10.
I also paid $1 for
but,
World of Goo, so.
Well, you paid 16 for World of Goo.
And then, yeah, I paid $1 for
But,
World of Goo, and then I paid full price on WiiWare.
I played Doom on Xbox Live Arcade.
Then you're
And
gonna shoot up your high school.
I didn't know.
Sorry.
Like I could have sworn that it auto saved. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had to save it yourself. So like it's like get to the
Welcome
second,
back
or third
to
level,
the beginning of
and
the
then I just turn off, and then I come back and like, what happened to my save? What happened?
Welcome to 1993.
Yes.
I know. I'm like, this is so backwards. What's going on?
No
Oh.
quick saves.
Yeah, and then I played a little bit of Shadowrun, just a tiny bit. I also played
Shadowrun? What?
Convinced Shadowrun. Yeah.
Shadowrun? What are you doing?
The Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike are
Shadowrun's
like
pretty
elves?
good.
Counter-Strike with elves
2007.
and demons and...
A lot of people still play Shadowrun. Like, it's still got a
Games for Windows.
It's still got a devoted, like, you know. But I convinced my cousin to buy DJ Hero instead of saving up for a controller. I'm like, dude, just get DJ Hero. It's $70 at GameStop. Just get it. And he got it, and we played that shit till like 3 a.m, and then we played it some more when we woke up.
I'm gonna piff way over here. Can I just say that... Can I just say that DJ Hero 2 looks really amazing, and it looks better than the first?
Why? It looks the same, and except it has singing.
Because DJ, like the whole when I think DJ, I think party, and
See, that's why I love DJ Hero.
1, DJ Hero 1 only had like did it have any multiplayer?
It did, yeah.
But it's just really bad. It was just kind of like it's just boring.
But now it's like it's a party, and like they added singing, which that's kind of weird. But
I don't know
What
how
I
you can
love
do
about
that.
DJ Hero, what I hate about music games is one, the music that's in most of them, and two, the whole social aspect of it. So I love DJ Hero because it's about me and weird ass music. And so like this is like I understand they need to sell more, but I don't. I'm fine.
Oh, by the
I'll
way-
feel bad at this. I'll feel bad at this.
By the way, speaking of music games and like controllers and stuff, Rock Band 3 with the keyboard. Oh man, I cannot wait.
and Rock Band
Really?
3 with
Okay.
the
It's
actual.
it's a full 2-chord
I know.
keyboard.
People buy a real guitar, for Christ's sake. Like what?
You can they're pro mode. You'll be able to buy a real guitar that works with Rock Band 3.
So I just get like a good real guitar and just learn how to play the guitar. Like they're getting getting
Yes.
closer to real instruments is not the answer. And they think it is, and
Video
they're dumb.
games aren't supposed to.
But there is
Exactly.
there is a
People like
real
Guitar Hero
guitar.
because it's like it's kind of like guitar, but not really, and easy. So if you keep trying to get closer and closer and costing more and more money, like fuck this fake shit. I'm just gonna go like learn how to play the guitar. Like, it's
Like,
stupid.
the
It's stupid.
Mad
They don't know what to
Catz-
do. They don't know what to do to bring it forward.
There's a Mad Catz Fender controller. It's a real Fender like body, but they just
That's
gutted it.
retarded.
They gutted it, the real Fender body, a real Fender body. That's why it cost $300. And they gutted it and they
Assy,
put the electronics.
Just shut it.
It's retarded. It is absolutely retarded.
I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but I guess.
I can understand. You know what?
Can we just change the
I
subject?
side now with all musicians that hate that stuff because it's dumb.
Can we change the subject, please? Because this is really kind of boring.
I think we're done. What else
Yeah.
we can talk about?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Super Scribble Nuts.
Scribblenauts is cool to mess around with as a game. Like, I don't care about Scribblenauts as a game. That's what I care about.
Adjectives,
It's cool.
Piffman, adjectives.
It's a cool toy, and it'll be a
Adjectives
cooler
and
toy, but I
verbs.
still don't care about the game.
We're gonna get adjectives and verbs in
And
Super
you can
Scribble
it can control Maxwell with the D-pad, which is what
I know,
everyone
that
wanted.
too.
Because
Even I've wanted that. Like that was pretty annoying, and like I managed the way to get around it, but like, yeah,
Dude, Scribblenauts is a cool
can't
toy.
wait.
As a game, it's like totally whatever, but
well,
yeah.
video games are toys.
it's a nice $30 toy, I must say. Like it's pretty fun to play with.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Ooh.
Well, there are more expensive toys.
But that's what your accountant said.
Move.
That's what your accountant said.
Get it? PlayStation Move. See what I did there?
No. Oh, the PlayStation Move. Isn't it mimicking the Wii remote, except backwards? They just reversed everything that the Wiimote does.
And added magnets.
And added
Okay.
colors to the top of the Wii remote.
Wait, what did they add,
And
Piffin?
Yeah, Piffin, what they add?
What?
What did they add?
The guy that was making it was talking about how also, like, just to help just make it, they had like some magnet junk in it, so it's like it checks up against the Earth, like gravitational pull or something weird. I don't know.
What?
Just like a
Fucking
little extra.
magnets? How do they work? Damn.
Wait, they
I
added
just
magnets?
referenced Insane Clown Posse.
They added magnets to an electronic
I just-
system, and if you
I just-
use magnets... on
I just
electronic-
referenced Insane Clown Posse. Okay? On this podcast. And usually that's Storm's job. But he's not
Alright,
here
so are
right
we
now.
done? It's like 10 something.
Yeah. It's 10:16 and
It's
I need to edit
7:16.
this. On the East Coast, and I need to edit this and make a transcript.
West Coast is what matters.
But I'm not on the West Coast, so
From the Westwoods, yo.
From the
Straight
woods to
up.
the hoods,
Falling
Harry
in
and the
love.
Hendersons too. From the woods to the hoods.
Oh my God. So
oh, we
many
forgot to talk
references.
about our new affiliate, Can Gamers.
Okay, explain to me why anyone cares to watch other people play video games on live stream for hours at a time. Because I don't understand why people care to do that.
I don't know, it just works. I don't know.
But
Well, they're actually
why? Why would
entertaining.
anyone watch that?
They're entertaining. Just watch their live stream.
Like
Alright, well.
if the people playing the game are like entertaining, like you'll watch the live stream for the people playing the game. Like I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but like there's just some
Don't
live
watch
streams that are better
four-player
than others.
podcast. So that's my
Did you say don't watch or do watch?
don't watch.
Oh, okay. Just
Four-player
making sure.
podcast sucks so much.
All right. I wasn't gonna listen to them anyway.
Great.
So anyway,
Just
Alright,
did
so-
too.
so this has been Hear Me episode 55, the epic. Wait, how long are we right now?
We are
I don't know, it's
2
and a half
hours, 2.5 hours. I think we beat a record. I'm not sure. We might have.
No,
Sure, Mr.
episode 51 was like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I believe.
Do
you,
we?
you didn't really
check that.
talk about anything in that episode.
I can check that right now.
Let's not. Let's end and then do
Let's
that.
end this. This has been Hear Me episode 55. This is Marley.
This is Pittman. Yeah.
Massey, and we're signing off.
Yes.
Peace.
Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Da, na, 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 na.